Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. However you happen to be watching and or listening to this, I want to welcome you to the latest episode of the Gaming Circle podcast, the podcast where this week I am extremely excited, and we're going to get into all the reasons why. And I'm very, very grateful. But of course, I'm your host, Mr. K. Asante, TK Asante, on all the places we communicate. And actually, for all those who haven't done so yet, also the Gaming Circle Pod. And you want to make sure you are subscribed or following that channel, specifically today, because we're going to talk about that in a minute. But of course, I'm joined today and always by the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Everborn Saga. Good morning, sir. And he's on mute. He unmuted and then he went right back to me.
No, I'm having a problem with my mouse. Like it has phantom clicks, so I have to hold it in a certain way, or it registers as me. It's very strange. I've never seen this happen before.
Your,
but anyway.
your mouse is having drift issues. You got to get your new mouse there.
Yes, it's funny. So this mouse, because I have like 3 PCs connected to one pair of mouse and keyboard, and so it switches. Like you can switch input. So I really only get, like, whenever this goes bad, I get this same brand and replace it.
So that you can like continue the continuity. I get it. Yeah.
Right. So, but again, it's the keyboard always works. The mouse has always been super finicky, and you can't buy one without the other.
Is this Logitech?
It is Logitech, yes.
Yes, I think you're rocking one of my guys, are you not? Probably.
It's not that one. I don't want to turn on my camera yet because my office is a mess. But there's something about if your thumb is. Why are we talking about this on the Gaming Circle podcast? Anyway, the point is, I need a new mouse. Let's get going.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Gaming Mouse Talk podcast. No, I'm just kidding. Thank y'all so much for being here. I appreciate y'all being here. Always fun to have this show on a Saturday morning. Before we get into it, I will first and foremost thank all the fine folks that I see in the chat, people that are always here, new faces, old faces. Thank y'all so much for continuing to show your support. I see you, Web Dave, Mr. MJ Mac, J Mac himself. MJ Dark is in there. Stilo is in there. What's going on, everybody? It's good to see y'all. Please, if you haven't done so,
keep talking to the people. I have to give the little one some orange juice.
Okay, do your thing. I will do the housekeeping notes at the top, and I'll first and foremost say thanks to everyone that has been showing us so much support. That is the reason why I'm so grateful, folks. This has been somewhat of a monumental kind of couple of weeks since we came back from the Los Angeles showcases and whatnot. We've been putting a lot of work into both the channel and into the website. And it's been pretty fruitful. A lot of people have been reading the stuff we've been putting out. We'll talk about some of the slanderous details and things to come. But yes, right off the top, thank y'all so much for checking out the website, reading the previews we've been doing. There's a lot of previews up, like really great previews. Shout out to the team, the newly formed team that's out there doing good, making good moves. Shout out to the great Soil Tech who has put so much work and effort into a bunch of articles. I actually recommend people go read the Godot article. That has particularly caught some steam, and a lot of people are finding some useful information in there. For those who don't know, Godot is an engine that usually facilitated indie developers to really be able to do some interesting stuff. And now they're porting it over, and it looks like it's allowing for indie devs to actually have more of an ability to move their games over relatively easily. It gets heady, it gets technical, but if you're not technical, specifically if you're not technical, that's when I would recommend you read Soiltech's article. He painstakingly put a lot of effort into it, made sure that it was understandable and legible and grokkable, if you will, by the masses, and it definitely shows. A lot of people are reading it. People are excited about what it has to say. So check it out, as well as all the other great articles that have the previews and stuff that are up there from the various sources and the various team members now that we have. I am so proud, and they're doing great work. We appreciate each and every one of y'all, and the numbers are starting to show it as well. Very cool. In addition to some of the articles and the interesting stuff, we also have obviously our community that wants to have their opinion heard. And if you're one of those and you've been here, you're in the chat, you were part of that community. if you ever want your voice heard, hey, this is what's going on here, what's going on there, I don't appreciate it, all this and that, contact us. Many a community member have reached out in the background, put an article up. What you're seeing right here is a great article about layoff rumors and how he feels about it. And this is from the great Nerds and Other Legends, who frequents our community as well. Really good, thought-provoking article that he wrote there. Reviews from the great MJ Dark, because in his world, Nintendo is the best place to play. So we allow him to do some reviews on Nintendo. So check out his articles, right? We have lots of great folks lending their voices, their content to us. There's that Godot article I was talking about. So yeah, thank y'all so much for your continued support and just reading it and just helping us grow. Before we continue though, I'm
back, by the way.
Thank you for being back. Yes.
I've been back for a while. You were cooking, so I just let you.
Oh, no worries. Yes, thank you. I have to say, this is one of those things that I don't like doing, but I'm gonna have to do this. We're gonna do this because it's part of the beginning housekeeping notes, right? We are becoming a victim of our own success. Now, what I mean by that is, we were able to go to these various showcases and show and basically show out and do the best we can and have a lot of great content for people. And now the fire's at our back and we want to continue doing stuff. This year we probably won't be able to do Gamescom because life is hard out there, bro. Life is hard. So getting to Germany might not be so easy this year, but we are trying to see if we can go to PAX West. And we do need some assistance with that. We normally, most of the stuff, we do it on our own dime. We have been doing it on our own dime for a long time. I always thank the people who feel it so kind and so inclined to donate as far as super chats and memberships and all of that. We really appreciate it. But as you know, we don't put that on Front Street. It's the way you want to assist us. We appreciate you either way, and we do that. I just want to let folks know that in the next, few months, weeks, that we're in the donations and anything you choose to donate to us will go straight to plane tickets for the crew. We're trying to get to PAX West. We're trying to, like we did so well at all these other shows, we're trying to keep that ball rolling and hopefully continue rolling into next year. I want to go to GDC. We want to do a lot of different things, and you can definitely assist us in that. Of course, as we say, time's hard out here. Life is hard out here. Yes, thank you, Paris.
Paris don't want to hear it. Paris don't want to hear none of them excuses,
sir. It's a financial problem, sir. Give us some assistance. We go get there if we can get there. But this is why we're bringing it to the community.
I want to see Paris at every New York show because he said, "Get out there." Well, I guess Gamescom is over in
it's in Germany.
Count.
Yeah,
but how often do you come out to Paris? Come out to New York, Paris.
Yes, exactly. Look,
a lot of shows in New York. I see Paris at PAX East when we was out there, sir.
We need your assistance. We know times are tough. We don't want anyone to donate or give if it in any way, shape, or form affects your life negatively. It's crazy out there, and we're just talking video games. But if you love what we do here, you appreciate what we do here, you have a little extra coin.
The Wandering Dutch.
Hey, what's going on, Dutch man? Good to see you, sir. It's been too long. I hope you're good. Oh, that's awesome. And of course, he does that with a 5-pounder. Thank you, sir. Thank you. He did that for.
Do we have an East Coast versus West Coast?
Oh, damn.
Going on over here?
It's starting early with the slams.
Is that what you want to do, Paris?
But yes, if you want to see, because Everborn Saga joined us. The great Soil Tech has been writing great articles for us. Lon out there in the community has been doing some really good work for us. We're trying to galvanize that and move it forward so that we can be boots on ground wherever we happen to move, and you guys can assist us in doing that. As I said, if you have the ability to, we really appreciate you. If you don't, hit that like button, share it out, let other folks know that we're doing what we're doing, because any bit helps us. But yes, I've been told that I'm not a good enough host in order to make those requests. We are fundraising as much as we can. We will not be wearing glizzy outfits. We'll leave that for betters than us. Unless you want to see Everborn Saga wear the glizzy outfit. What's your price, Everborn? Come on.
No, there's no.
Yes. There's no price. There's no price. But yes, please, 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 we appreciate any kind of assistance you can provide because we want to keep this moving.
So Paris, if you do go to New York Comic Con, I do have a booth there this year. 2030.
That is awesome. That is awesome, man. That's awesome. Yes, yes, yes. But yeah, so thanks to everybody who's been checking out the channel. Thanks to everybody who's been reading the site. One of our articles actually kind of blew up a little bit, doing pretty well. We'll get to the slanderous one in a minute. I know you want to talk about that, everyone. We'll talk about that in the stories. But one of our articles recently got a lot of good attention, and that is the article that was written by the Lonix Lewis Dorr, which is specifically talking about what do you call it? Now the name is escaping me. We're specifically talking about Grounded 2, excuse me, and some of the new features that are coming out there. We had a really awesome interview with Marcus Morgan, the executive producer of Grounded 2. Very, very cool. Had a really awesome conversation with them. Really interesting conversations about what's coming to Grounded, what started Grounded. A lot of really cool details in there, and I guess some really dedicated Grounded YouTubers found that, and they shouted it out, and it's signal boosting, and it's all over the place now, getting a lot of views. Thank y'all so much for all of that. So I say all that to say thank you for all of your continued support, and we really, really do appreciate it. And yes, anything you can choose to donate will go to all those various shipping, all the traveling and all that stuff that we're trying to do this year. If nothing else, we want to try and do PAX West. Hey, y'all can get us to Germany if you want. It's all good. Paris, you want us there? Hey, it's all about the cha-ching at this point, ladies and gentlemen. So anything y'all can do, we appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for your continued support. But yeah, besides that, another thing I want to discuss before we start the show proper today, and I'll give you just a little bit of time. We will be choosing a winner of the giveaway we talked about a couple weeks ago, which is if you are following Gaming Circle Pod and you're also following the Gaming Circle YouTube channel, we will be picking you out, one of you, and you'll be getting a Game Pass Ultimate subscription for 4 months, 3 months. I think it's a 3-month code. But yes, Ultimate code, stackable. So whether you have it or you don't have it, you can add it to your existing. Very awesome, very cool. Just for being a member here and subscribing, we want to get a lot more attention on the Gaming Circle Pod because that's where we're going to be dropping a lot of information and stuff. So sign up there, and we appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. All right, so we're going to start talking about some games. Then we're getting into some stories. There's a lot of stories, but we don't have that much time, so we're going to move with a bit of speed. Mr. Everborn Saga, sir, I will let you get this ball rolling. What games have you been playing this week, sir?
Okay, mostly. I've been playing Adventures of Elliot, the Square game. So
talk about
it. When you start it, it's very chatty patty, right? Very like generic anime voiceovers or whatever.
Do you say pocketbook chatty patty? Your age is showing. Chatty patty, damn.
No, hold on.
Very graybeard of you.
Very talkative, right? And again, it's not like it. The point is, it's the story's kind of a slow burn, but once you get into that first dungeon and you realize what they're doing, this is the Octopath Travelers team's take on Legend of Zelda. Like that's just what it is.
Okay.
From the way the dungeons are designed to just the way the combat works and the weapons you can get, like I love this game. It's giving me all the old school vibes, and I don't feel like the story so far is as strong as Octopath Traveler, because that kind of hooks you in like right away. This is a little bit lighter in terms of the tone. Like very high fantasy, whatever. But I really like the moment-to-moment combat in this game, and the dungeons are like, we just haven't had these kind of dungeons in a while. So we're still waiting, Nintendo, for that Link to the Past remake, but whatever. You'll get that to us when you get that to us. But these are straight up Zelda style dungeons, and I just can't get enough of it.
Okay. Tell
Um,
me why I should care about Elliot, or the story has not gotten you there yet.
the story has not gotten me to where I can. I'm playing this just for the gameplay right now. Like I don't care about anyone or anything that's happening.
He said, "I
But
don't care about Elliot."
as a game ass game, I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. I
Okay.
love it. I love it. But
Okay.
again, I'm hoping the story takes us somewhere, right? So there's some disturbance that you have to go look into, and it's very like Everborn-y with what the plot is, right? You have
Okay.
like the humans have their own section of the king, what the land or whatever, and they are now protected by this princess's magic shield and the other beast men. So you have like wolf people, you have bird people. This is what I said, fish people, very, very, very Everborn-y. And then they have their own sections, but they all attack the humans. And we don't really know why, but I suspect we're going to get into that. And you have to go out, and you're an orphan, and an adventurer found your Elliot as a baby, brought him to this orphanage, and so now he works as an adventurer trying to keep the orphanage funded, and then he gets a contract from the from the king or whatever. So he takes that contract, he goes out, and then the princess does some magic to be like in your ear, so you have a companion. So again, all that's just set up. We'll see how it unfolds, but Elliot has some kind of past, and I'm sure they're going to tell you he's this special snowflake. But
Neo.
again,
right,
exactly. But again, this is really about if you want to play some Zelda style dungeons in a top-down RPG with the Octopath Traveler art style, this is your game.
Shout out to the great Fonzarelli going on, big Fonz.
So
thank you for being here.
This is what I've been playing the most this week, but
the
two games that I picked up yesterday that I just tried for a few minutes each, so I could tell you guys about them on this show, because those Steam sales are crazy right now.
We're going to talk about the Steam sales, but continue. Right. Yes, the Steam sales is wild, son.
So one of them is Tethergeist, right?
Tethergeist.
So
interesting. Never heard of that.
This is basically a game that is like Celeste. You are a girl in this fantasy village, and everyone has these tethers that you can use to like jump through walls or whatever. It's like a ghost.
What a name.
Of yourself. It's like you throw your soul outside of your body, it can pass through walls, and then you can get to the other side of things. But they make puzzles out of it, and you have to pick up like this flower thing or this gem thing, so that for each soul throw that you do, but they will design each room so that you'll have to like pick up one and then throw yourself through a wall, but now you're falling towards spikes, so you have to get the next one before you hit the spikes, and then throw to the next thing. And then they make it a little bit more difficult by adding zones where you can't tether from. And so it's you see, it's that kind of thing.
Okay.
So there's no combat, so to speak. This is why I say it's like Celeste.
It's like a puzzle game.
Yeah,
it's
environmental
traversal puzzle game. Yep, puzzle platformer. Yep. Okay.
So it has wall jumping and all that, but it's very it's they just added a twist to Celeste. So instead of getting up a mountain, you're trying to get back home, and you have this I
see what they're doing.
Yeah, you see those yellow things? You have to get those for each one you do. So now imagine if you need to do tethers to get through something. Like
and you're in the middle of a jump and you can do it.
Yes,
that is cool.
Exactly.
So you can see that get very complicated.
Exactly.
Oh boy.
This is nothing. This is just them teaching you how to do it.
Yes.
But it gets crazy.
So Everborn Saga, we can talk about this later. I spoke about this on the show, but unfortunately, since we spoke about it after you had gone, you didn't hear it. There's a game called Croak that you need to play. It is a lot of this energy. It's a frog with a tongue. Oh boy, it's like this. We'll talk. I'll show you some of the footage.
Now you see what happened
going
there?
through worlds and stuff. Yeah.
So now she needed 2 of those things. Now she needs 3, right? So she's used one. She's used the other one.
That is very cool. This is up my alley right here.
Exactly. See, now she on her third one, she didn't get through, so she has to do all that.
So everyone she collects allows her to go through the. Okay, you got
exactly. Yeah. But it's it's 1 for 1. So you have to time it and you can't waste it.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. You talk about your game and then I got one more I want to talk about. I just gotta.
All right. Cool.
Call really quick.
No worries. So since Everborn Saga brought up Tethergeist, now of course I have to speak about Croak again because man, oh man, Croak is awesome. Now. It's only in early access. Well, not early access, but there's a demo for it that you can actually play. Well, you had a chance to play it during the Next Fest, which I think the demo is still available, but Next Fest has passed us by. But Croak is so awesome. So what is Croak? It's exactly like what you're seeing here. Let me see if I can find the footage for it. Basically, you're a frog. You're a king frog. You have a huge tongue, pause, and you're using that to traverse the world. And it gets very, very, very complicated very quickly. And it's just very fun because, like Tethergeist, it doesn't have like objectively any kind of real combat in its way. Well, it does in the form of boss battles and things. But by and large, the reason you're there is to traverse the world as efficiently and as easily as you can. I don't know if everyone can see the screen, but this is what the game looks like. We talked about this, I think, a week ago or 2 weeks ago at this point. I got a chance to get hands-on with this at The Mix, which was a really cool event where indie devs got a chance to show a lot of their stuff. Yes, BT Maverick was in the house. I remember, BT, you saw this. Really awesome game. It just looks real simple on the face of it, but it gets diabolical, we'll say. Diabolical. But the reason why you'll still want to keep playing it is because you go, oh, just one more run, not a big deal. It's fine, everything's great. And then another run, and another run. And it gets far more complicated as you go along. The game is called Croak. And let me push a little bit ahead so you can see some of the wild, like machinations you get into in order to traverse this world. And exactly. So the idea is surfaces become difficult to hold, to touch on. Some of the surfaces will burn you right away. Other surfaces burn you like seconds after you step on it. So you got to jump on it and then run. Your tongue will allow you to stick on things for a short amount of time, and you bounce your ridiculously like gelatinous body on something, and you almost like a pinball, you bounce to the other location. And yes, as you can see, you also have a drone system in the form of a fly that seems to live in your mouth. But yes, it's the developers seem to have had really weird ideas here, but it culminates in what can only be described as like a very devious, addictive game. As you can see, when you're jumping, you have a few chances to use your powers. Once you've used them, you must touch ground. If you don't touch ground, as you can see there, he runs out of his ability to use those powers, and wherever you are, you fall. So it's super intricate in getting around, spiky things everywhere. You got to find a way to, get yourself from point A to point B. It gets deviously good. And it's just,
what is the name of this game?
Croak. It's called Croak.
All right.
And it looks like it could be on mobile. It's playable. Like, I hope this comes to everything. It is so fiendishly good. It is very, very good. And they have boss fights and stuff too. It's very, very good. Let me see if I can move to the boss fight, so you guys can see that real quick. So, and as you see, the more you play, the crazier it gets. This mechanic, every time you jump, the birds get bigger and smaller. When they're big, you can jump on them. When they're small, you're screwed. So you have to time your jumps so that it only works. So it only happens when they are big, so you have a place to traverse over. If you don't, you fall right into the muck, as it were. Very, very devious.
How do you Okay, forget it. I see it.
It is very good, very good. I really hope. We've been trying to talk to the devs, see if we can get the dev on the show. Maybe talk to them a bit more about their process and whatnot. This is a great game. Oh, is this where the demo? It's
not out yet. Okay.
It's not out yet. It's not out yet. So far, it's only demo form. Yeah, as everyone should. This is one of the boss fights. Really fiendishly good. It will kick.
I really like the animation. It's very bouncy.
Yes, very very animation heavy, very bouncy, very jovial in its aesthetics and use of ability. You could play. It seems like it can be playable on anything. Right? It looks like it can be played on a potato. You're not there for the awesome graphics or whatnot, which are beautiful, but you're there just for the challenge. And boy, do you have it! It is very good, very 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 good.
So I got one more. I got one more.
Next one,
this
then?
looks fantastic. So I wish listed it. This looks like a day one for me. All right. So Soil Tech says he hates this game.
Yes, he does. I remember.
I guess he wasn't good at it.
If you are really bad at it, you will get frustrated quick.
Oh, shout out to Mr. Boomstick.
Oh, good morning, sir. Good to see you.
All right, so the next game, this one is very interesting. It's super old school, right? This is called Blood Gauntlet, right? It is
wow, what an old school name, Blood Gauntlet. All right, let's find it.
So here's the premise. It's like if you put Crank, that movie with Jason Statham, where like you have to keep moving or his heart was gonna stop. Do you remember this movie?
Of course I remember this movie.
Yeah. All right. So Crank, if it were an 8-bit Castlevania game, right? The idea is that you are bleeding out and you have to either kill people or collect blood vials, or your blood is your health, right? So you have to keep moving, keep collecting stuff because there's a countdown timer, right? Right. So to stay alive, you got to keep either killing or collecting the vials, and they play around with that, but you can't stop.
Doom, right? Like you got to collect the attacking is how you save yourself rather than right. It's the Doom premise where offensive is the way to continue to live.
Well,
defensive it doesn't work for you.
Sure. But I think the point here is that you can't. It's like they said, you can't slow down because that timer is just going down at the top left. That's your blood. It's just going down and down and down. And so you got to keep going. Don't stop. Don't worry about what you don't miss. I won't play this game, sir. Yeah. It is not an endless rudder, but it makes you feel like it is because you have to keep moving and getting blood vials and killing people.
Nope. It has one of the mechanics in games that I hate the most. Timers. Timers going down. It just stresses me out. Why?
That's the point. That is the point.
The game should stress me out, not the time. Like, come on. It looks great though, graphically and all that.
So it's just I just like I thought it was a super interesting premise. It
is very interesting. Absolutely. So. And for the people who missed it, what is the name of this game called again?
This is Blood Gauntlet.
Blood Gauntlet, ladies and gentlemen, probably to be wishlisted, if I'm not mistaken.
No. This is out now, and it's only
it's out now. Fantastic,
very
fantastic, cheap. Awesome. Okay, and I imagine you got this as part of the Steam summer sale.
Sure did.
Fantastic, sir. So let's talk a bit about that before we move on. Steam summer sale is upon us, and before I felt a little bad because a lot of our audience tends to stay in the gaming in the console waters a lot. But a lot of y'all should have Ally X's now, and
by the way, I just want to point out. Sorry about this.
No,
Blood Gauntlet is literally $2 right now. It is $1.94. So do not
buy that immediately.
Run to.
So yes. So for those of you who have your Ally X's out there, $2, and that game is in your handheld. You don't have to worry about any of that. You know what I'm saying? You can get it done. That's fantastic. All right. So let me catch up on a couple
other guys.
We've had a few. Oh,
the one
that was
not
bad at all.
That's
not bad at all. No.
$12.
All right. So super chats. We first and foremost have the great Web Dave with a $2 super chat. He says better than Saturday morning cartoons. Much respect, sir. That is high praise. I still consider Saturday morning cartoons. I remember it fondly. Okay, so thank you so much. We appreciate you being here, good sir.
I appreciate that, but Saturday morning cartoons aren't what they used to be, so I'm not surprised.
I know. I remember it fondly from when it was good. You know, I don't think kids even remember Saturday morning cartoons anymore.
I don't even know if they still exist.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think there are channels dedicated to Saturday morning. No, I don't think so.
When you think about it, didn't like Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network kind of killed the Saturday morning cartoon because then it wasn't.
Because it was all day, every day. Yeah, it became all day, every day. Yeah, that's true. That's true. BT Maverick, 707 with a $5 super chat. The great BT Maverick. He says, random question. Who did you guys think the COD movie is for? Being inspired by Private Ryan, Saving Private Ryan, Michael Bay, or offering less interactive experiences? BT, you are a savage for this one. I am not going to answer the question. Join the Discord if you want to know why he's slandering everyone right now.
So Paris says blame the Reagan administration for the demise of the Saturday morning cartoons. Well, Reagan, I'm no fan of Reagan, but he did force them to put positive messages at the end of cartoons, and I feel like we might be missing a little.
The more
bit
you know.
these days.
That's right. The more you know.
So this is a fun fact about Everborn's younger years. My father is what he's still alive. He's thankfully still with us. 7-day Adventist.
Okay.
And we had to go to church every Saturday morning. So while all the good cartoons were on, we were just going to church.
Sir, I don't feel bad for you. This is the smallest violin for you. I'm a Jehovah's Witness whose birthday is on Christmas. I don't feel bad for you, sir.
But this is why you put the VHS on record.
That's right.
And then you watch it when you get back. But yeah, we didn't get to watch the Saturday morning cartoons while they were on.
See, but Paris isn't wrong. He's on to something. He says, but they also deregulated so cartoons became 28 minutes and toy ads, which is very true. Which, hey, actually, that might also not be a bad thing because that's what brought about He-Man and all those other things. They had to move them cartoons. Just saying.
Yeah, those were literally just commercials for cartoons.
Yes, absolutely.
A good thing on Netflix, I believe it's on Netflix. It's called The Toys That Made Us.
Yes,
you can learn about
great show.
Stuff. It's a great
documentary style. Yeah, absolutely.
Check it out on Netflix. You can learn about a lot of this stuff. It is actually super fascinating.
Infinite Umbra, $2 super chat. He says, be sure to speak on the GTA 6 fundraiser. Let's talk about that for a moment. So in our Discord,
sometimes you need
in our Discord, some months ago, we all put our foot down. Myself, Umbra, a few of us put our foot down, and we're going to talk in detail about GTA, about the fact that if they went too hard on that price point, we would stand on business. So obviously, we know what happened. They absolutely did. Hell, don't even talk about the $80 edition. We're going to talk in depth about it. It's the $100 edition. That's the minimum edition, right? That's the version that gets you everything you need to play the game standard style, right? But of course, when that time came, and I grabbed my pitchfork and I'm standing on business, now I'm standing alone because Umbra is out there fundraising to try and get out of his own words. He said he wouldn't buy it, so now he needs you to buy it for him. This is his fundraiser.
I see. One more thing on the cartoon stuff. So Paris says 70s cartoons and anime versus 80s is shockingly night and day. Now I don't doubt that, but 80s anime was still very good. The difference with me is I grew up in the 80s, so I didn't see the 70s cartoons till I was an adult.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I watched a lot of 70s cartoons back then.
I don't have the frame of reference of difference. Like Thundercats, He-Man, Voltron, Bionic 6, Mask. That was just dope. I don't care if they were selling toys, because you know what? I was in the market for toys at that age.
Indeed, yes. It was laser focused on us. Now you see all the crazy capitalism and all that, but back then we were laser focused. It was all good. But all right, thank you all so much for the continued support. Thank you for the super chats and whatnot. Let us get to another game that we've been playing, a game that I will talk about a little bit. This game, okay, let's get the proverbial other game out of the way. I think even yours continuing to play it. 007, First Light.
I am still playing that, but it's. You know how
007. We here love the small indies, so we will always give deference to the small indies. Speaking of that, I'll actually give you a little bit of a tidbit of something that's coming up sooner after this. But we love our small indies. We love the small teams that go and they do such great work and they shoot their shot and they're awesome in this community, awesome in the community. Really, really, really like earning their bread, as it were. We love those guys. But We also love big games that huge teams put together and painstakingly spend a lot of time on. Man, oh man, I would say 007 is worth your time. If you are a 007 fan from the movies, from the lore, all of that is on display. We're not telling you anything you don't know because you probably heard about it. A lot of people talking about how great 007 is. Go play 007. It is worth your financial investment. I think it's really, really, really good. It borrows from all the right places and doesn't borrow too much, right? So it's not like a Hitman recreation. It gives you just enough Hitman that you go, yep, I see your Hitman lineage. It gives you just enough Uncharted. You're like, yep, I see your influences. It gives you Tomb Raider. It gives you, it gives you a Splinter Cell, right? Sneaking around doing, it is fantastic. The quips, the way he talks, excellent.
Where I am in the game now is where you're hunting down the murderous busboy.
Yeah. I've already passed that point. Yeah, I've passed that point. But yes, it and at the end of that busboy thing, you're gonna love it. I'm not gonna go any further. Really good. I see somebody in there talking about young 007 got a lot of Jason Bourne in it. Yes, it's got a lot of good hand-to-hand Jason Bourne like action.
I really love the way, and I've never seen this done in a game before, right? So it's like you're watching a movie and they're doing the training montage, but that's your tutorial level.
Yes, it is. They took the whole "it's a movie" seriously. It's good.
Yeah, but it's so weird that we've seen so many of these movie games and no one has thought to do it this way. And like it fits. It's natural. It's a tutorial level, but it still does not feel out of place, right? I thought that was super cool. But I see that Apex NYC says this is his game of the year, and I'm not finished with this yet. I 100% plan to finish it, but right now
the great boomstick agrees. Great boomstick agrees. It is what it is.
RE9 still takes the cake for me.
This game is excellent. If you want that bombastic, 4-quadrant, a AAA fare, has all the money on the screen, this is it. It's very good. I am really having a great time with it. We're not gonna spend too much more time on it. You know it. Everyone knows it. 007 is good. Go play that game. So there's that.
Most cool about 007 is like you see what IO Interactive can do, and so they're not just a Hitman studio. And there's some Hitman in here, but like
absolutely,
this shows like, all right, you guys can do whatever you want. So I hope that fantasy game that's rumored that they're coming out with is still still gonna happen. But
this is IO at the height of their powers, man. I love what they've done here. This is so good, and I'm a big fan of the Hitman franchise, even the new as well as the old. They have done like so well here.
And hey, listen. Don't sleep on Crimson Desert. And by the way, those people who couldn't get into the controls in the beginning, they now
hear the controls have changed now.
They let you remap now. You should consider.
I may go back. I'm not going to remap, but I will go back because I still want to do it.
Mr. Boomstick, because I know the controls were a problem for him, and I ended up putting it down just because some other things came up. But I do plan on getting back with it and starting from the beginning and remapping the controller and seeing what I feel, because that game does a lot.
So what I hope, and I haven't checked the updates, what I hope is that they give you presets in remapping, because if you do a total custom remap, as I've heard it from the few, and we have a few,
they've thought it through, like, okay,
but that's the thing, right? That's the part I'm trying to get to. A lot of folks in our Discord, shout out to Lon, shout out to Floodzilla, they've beaten the game now, like fully beaten the game now, and they were saying, if they allow for custom mapping, you're gonna need like a notebook next to you to remind yourself where you mapped it, because the late game is wild with control. So hopefully they have all that sorted out. Like I was saying, what I was saying, I was worried about. The people who've beaten it say, yeah, even though it's great they let you remap it, you probably don't want to remap it unless you know what you did, because the late stage it gets ridiculous with the button combinations. So but I'm planning on going back because it is still like very much on the list of game of the year.
We do got to do a on the reel for Widow's Bay, but I don't think you've watched it.
Yeah, I have not gotten that far. I have not gotten that far. Yeah, we have to get on that. Let me talk about the last game on my list here. and then we will move forward. This game is it's not in early access. It's going to be soon, I suspect. I did see this game when we were at the Idea at Xbox booth at the Summer Game Fest. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be on Xbox. But this version right now is on Steam as far as in the demo form. But it is a deep demo. I've been playing this demo for many hours. I know Pixelbit G has also been playing the demo. And what game am I talking about? It's this crazy game called Erosion. I don't know if you've heard of this game. It's called, I'm clicking on the wrong one here. Let me go away. It's called Erosion, and it is a wild looking game. As you can see, very voxel, pixelated game. Premise is pretty easy. It's a cowboy world. You, as soon as you start the game, some bad guys show up. They kill your wife, very sad, and steal your child. very horrible premise that starts the game. And they take them into this dungeon, and now you have to go chase them and find the dungeon. And obviously the dungeons are like crazy procedurally generated things, as you would imagine. But man, the graphics, the from move to move, from dungeon to dungeon, all the various like move sets you get, the weapons you get, how you're able to traverse, the enemy variety. It is freaking insane. This is my gameplay, by the way. I've been playing this like for weeks now. Well, not weeks. I've been playing this for some time, but like I just have not stopped playing. It's just one more run. It's very fun. And of course, just at the cursory glance of it, it is like a cowboy kind of simulator thing. So it's very familiar in that way, but it gets really quick in a very strange direction as far as all the various monsters that come and how you traverse them. Let me see if I can go a little further in the thing so you can see some of the actual. See, I recorded this footage and most of these guys were already dead. So let me find some more to help you with. But you're going from one level to another level to another level, and sometimes you when you die, you actually can go back to the top open world level, the overworld, if you will. And then like some of the stuff that you received, you permanently can upgrade your weapons. As you see, I'm using a flamethrower. You start with just your standard sidearm. You can get a flamethrower. You can get like what do you call it? Sniper rifles, shotguns, and even more intricate, weird weaponry. But you're just trying to survive, and chests all over the place. It's a dungeon crawler, right? So depending on what you find, it augments your loadout. It augments your actual move set. You can go faster. You can
looks like
shields.
This looks like a twin stick slop.
It is not. It is honestly.
Honestly,
it is very good.
I'm not good at twin stick shooters. Is my problem.
So the game is called Erosion. And I wish Pixelbit G was here to hear you say that. He'd probably slander you because he's been playing this a lot as well. It is very fun. It will come to Xbox, I'm sure. It might come to Game Pass. I'm not sure about that. But we saw this game.
Well, will it if you listen to the Business of Video Games podcast?
Well, we're going to get there, bro. Stop putting the cart before the horse. Stop it. Anyway.
I'm just saying, you giving people hope. Maybe you shouldn't do that.
No, but this was on their stage. This was specifically found at ID at Xbox. So whatever was there is there, but we'll talk about what the future looks like later. Stop it. But anyway, Erosion, if you have not played it, if you have not checked it out, put it on your list. It is quite good. I'm using boomerangs right now. They got boomerangs. They got all this other crazy stuff. It is very fun. Yes, it's a twin stick shooter. If you're not about that life, it's going to be difficult for you. I love these kind of games. And you get deeper into the dungeon, it gets more and more complicated. Then all of a sudden you get sectioned off and there's like a boss fight, and you're trying to survive. You get I think 3 or 4. I'm far more hearts now than I used to have, so I'm still in it. It's just in demo form, but I'm like almost like 4 or 5 hours into playing it, and it's still fruitful and still like giving me stuff and all this. It is awesome. The game, once again, is called Erosion. And it's coming to Xbox. It's on PC. Don't know when it's coming out. Don't know what all the forms are. Go seek it out. Erosion. Very cool. Very cool. People should be playing that when it comes out. So there's that. Real quick, before we move on to stories, because we have a lot to cover, but once again, I will thank all the great people who have continue to support us, continue helping us. It is allowing us to get into some interesting places. As I said, we did a lot of great preview coverage. Go check it out on thegamingcircle.com/blog. Really, really good articles there, written by lots of different community members, myself included, lots of different other people who have lent their time and their efforts to it as well. Many of those previews, some of them may turn into interviews on this channel. We're going to be putting a lot of really cool stuff out. Like we said, we did the interview with Marcus Morgan from Obsidian about Grounded 2. There's a lot of interesting stuff going on in the background for more interviews. Y'all have heard me talk about this before. I will say it again because this is a teaser for weeks to come. One of my favorite games from a long time ago that I kept yelling about on this very show was a game called Fading Afternoon. The man has a new game coming out. I'm having little conversations with him. He is not American, obviously. I think he's his native Russian in Moscow. So speaking with him was difficult as far as getting him on the show because of, obviously voice language differences and whatnot. But he's working with us, and we're gonna have a really good article on the Gaming Circle that you'll be able to check out, talking about his process. Bro, he is the Russian Everborn Saga, I swear. After reading, like talking to him, he is so much like the entrepreneurial spirit, the creation, the style. He's like, look, I'm making a game, I'm making a manga, I'm influencing, the manga is influencing my game is influencing the manga. Very Everborn Saga, very entrepreneurial spirit.
Hopefully, unlike Everborn Saga, he can actually get his game out, but it's coming.
Oh, come on now.
Okay, listen, I just sent you a text message. I want you to look at it.
You just sent me a text message. That is beautiful radio, sir. Okay, this is let's see. Yeah, no, but that's not. Did you see that? That was, yes, but that has already been debunked as far as the 6-1 whatever thing. I think Jez kind of put an article out.
That's the Jez article, but it was just explaining it. So
okay. So yes, let's get into the news because yes, this GTA to talk about.
You should wait for the real data instead of clicking on affiliate links. I was like, okay, VGC.
Spicy, real spicy out there. Yes, but okay, let's talk the news proper. A lot of news going on today. A lot of news going on for some time, but I think we should start with our news because there were some things out there, and I think I want to address it real quick before we move on. Okay, there were some things that came out. I want to address it before we move on. We put up an article on thegamingcircle.com. And it kind of turned into something, but I wanted to come and address it here on the show and make sure that people understand what we were doing and what we are doing. Right? As we said, we've been putting a lot of effort into putting some articles out, letting people know some interesting things that are going on, expanding our voice in written form as you do, and we appreciate all the people that have tuned in. This article turned into something, because a lot of people had some issues with what the article had to say. I won't go too far into it, but needless to say, there is a social media network that is specifically accessible by those who work for the companies that they're talking about, and only then can you access the social media, the pages of that company. So in other words, if you work at Xbox, you have to have a Microsoft account, right? You have to have like when you are authenticating, you have to have a Microsoft account. And that gives you access to then traversing that specific part of the social media, so you can either read what's there and or post yourself, right? And somebody, of course, posted. I got in my hands with my own eyes, got to see screenshots that purported to show some real tea being spilled, right? But of course, as we know, all this tea being spilled and all this left and right, all this stuff, it all needs to be taken with a huge grain of salt. Because even when you see literally like, hey, Starfield is coming to PlayStation, yeah, it didn't come for a long time. Right? So we've all learned those lessons. But the reason I put this out was because I thought it was super interesting. Because before this had come to my knowledge, I didn't even know that Blind existed as it did. So I found it super interesting that there are people on this restricted kind of social media site that are having, and they are either current or former Microsoft employees, because once you authenticate once, well, we don't know that for sure. We don't know what their authentication process is. Maybe every X amount of however long you have to re-authenticate, or you authenticate once and you're done. So if you authenticate once and you're done, then maybe like X employees can still use it. But if you authenticate frequently on a I don't know, every X amount of year basis, that's probably how they weed that out. We don't know. All we know definitively is that their people with Microsoft accounts had this kind of convo, right? Now, I put this out there and everyone lost their ever-loving mind. Oh, this is terrible. Oh, this can't be true. Oh, why are you spreading FUD, rag-mag, and the like? This seems to be a problem of reading, because a lot of people took the headline and ran with it. We didn't even spend too much time on what was said and whether it was right or wrong. What it was literally someone on this forum put that title up and then started talking about the people who would be affected. All right. And it got even further and further and further. I didn't put everything that I received out there because that wasn't absolutely necessary. What was necessary was just the idea that this conversation is being had in the backgrounds of those social medias. I thought that was super interesting. But yeah, people seem to run with it in the wrong way, the wrongest of ways, as they do. It is what it is. You know, I will say the intention with which we put this out was righteous, and it continues to be righteous, because I take that responsibility of putting stuff out and letting people listen to it very seriously, right? We didn't say, hey, this is fact. We said, hey, this is something that people are talking about. And those that didn't read and came and white knighted, you know who you are. Yeah, don't do that here. Anyway, so I know Everborn, even you had some concerns of some of this stuff. Why don't you air some of that before we move on to the other story?
So shout out to Infinite Umber. He says I'm legally blind. So I mean, for me, right? Like, you know, I am like, normally when people come to GCP, like, we don't really get into we're not really the breakers of news, right? Like, so no. When people come here, it's because they want to know what Everborn and Kay Asante think about these things. And as you know, we hear a lot of things before they become public, but we've kind of prided ourselves to not share those things, because that's not that's not what our brand is. And again, when you get into, and I don't know if Paris is still listening, but when you get into that newsmaker vein, right, it's always going to be that, right? Like, you're always going to have people that come in, and it's not like, whether they actually read the article or not. The question that people are going to have is, should you have posted a thing that is not verified, right? Like, so for example, someone can say I'm just throwing out a name there. Nib can say something wild. Does that make it newsworthy? Right?
No, but this was not at GCP saying something wild.
No, I understand.
What made this useful is not because it was generic. This was a specific network that only allowed Microsoft employees to speak. And this is what they were saying. That's what makes it interesting, right? Nib is just a person on the internet that speaks like everybody else does. That doesn't make that's not newsworthy. But when Microsoft employees are having this kind of talk, whether they are the janitors at Microsoft or the upper echelons at Microsoft, it's still interesting. That's what made it different.
I would argue, and shout out to janitors, it is a worthy profession, but
it's a very worthy profession,
right? But I don't know if I'm gonna hold any weight to what the janitor has to say about high level.
No. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. The reason I'm saying that is because the first retort was, "Oh, we don't know who it is. It could be anybody with a Microsoft account." Obviously, right? The interesting conversation here about that was, A, this thing exists that most of us didn't know existed, and B, these people who are unlike you in that they have a Microsoft account and not a like a retail, anybody can have one. These are people who work in that environment. They are having these conversations. Whether those conversations are true, whether they're false, whether they're trolly, whatever, that's all part of the interesting rumor and speculation, which this is, and we made that absolutely clear.
So what we're saying then is, shout out to Temper. Talk to the janitor if you want the real unfiltered view. He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Everybody's talking secrets.
Well, let me read
the
it.
janitor's over there doing what he's doing.
Says,
you know,
talk to the janitor if you want the real unfiltered view of the company's culture. Like,
yes,
he might be onto something. But again, I always come back to like, and this is more of a me thing, because people accuse me of crying on here, but I'm always talking about the responsibility that journalists have in the space, and I'm always questioning whether things are worthy of a report, and when you do the vetting, right? And we know that people do headlines to drive traffic, and then you read the meat and potatoes of it, and it is not really the thing that is in the headline, right? And we kind of get mad at people. So when we do Xbox is equals cooked, I know that was the title of the thing, but the question is, did we need to do that title, right? Is that the title that we should have chosen? And this is not to say that we shouldn't have done it, but I do want to give at least some understanding or empathy to the people that said that push back. Because again, if this was an article that a friend of the show Jez wrote, it would have got the same things. We didn't get any like worse treatment than a Jez or a Paris
and all of that is righteous.
What I'm saying is
we're just putting it out there.
Right. And so if we put it out there, we just have to also understand that this is the kind of response that comes with that.
Yeah, of course.
And
no doubt we knew this would be the response that would come out there. No doubt we did. But it's okay.
But I think because we knew that would be the response, I think that's why we've previously taken the stance of not coming forward with information that we hear. Because if you think this is the first piece of potentially insider information that we've heard, like, it's not, right? But this is the first one we decided to go with. And the question is why, or a better question that I think is good to answer for the community is this something that we will do going forward? And if not, why is that?
Okay, so is this the question? Is this something we'll do going forward? I believe that when we get something that's interesting, that comes from an interesting place that may not be talked about in regular circles, it may warrant releasing. It may warrant that. And why are we doing that now versus before? But it's because before we didn't have as many people spending their time and effort trying to push this site and this brand to succeed in the way that we can kind of churn and continue to make it a living thing, right? Before, the information wasn't useful to us because we're not trying to do it for clout and any of that's not useful, right? But I will say, for all the smoke, right? All the smoke that this article got, it made sure that the exclusive interview from Grounded got even higher views than that. And because of that, the information that was presented for the Godot engine that Soiltech wrote also got way higher views than even the cooked one, right? So as odd as it seems, the people who came here for the angry things stayed and read a lot and actually made it worthy.
But now let me ask you a philosophical.
Well, let me answer the question moving forward. Will we be doing this moving forward? If there's a unique angle that is not discussed, most likely we will. But just in general, oh, this happened, that happened, we're throwing it out there. There are many, and you've mentioned some, there are many folks in this space that do exactly that. And many of them are great. And many of them we will ourselves use as reference points. So like, if that's all we have, then it's just one of those. And I don't feel that being pertinent or useful for our specific, what we do. Right. So will you see, hey, rumor and speculation from us? Possibly, if it fits within our wheelhouse or it's something interesting that we can bring to the conversation. I'm sorry, you were going to say.
Yeah, this is, and we can move on from it after this. Just this is as a philosophical question. If we say, you know, for all the pushback that the article got, it literally drove the most traffic of most of the articles that we've done, and then it was like a rising tide that lifted all boats, meaning these other articles as well. Isn't that really the definition of clickbait and why it exists, right? So you have something that is a salacious title, it will get people in, but then the people coming in will read the other things. That's the reason a lot of the, not saying that that's what this is, but that's the reason a lot of the ne'er-do-wells do what they do. It's to I get the eyeballs.
I get that. And but see, so, that's the reason it's called poisoning the well, right? The well is there and then it gets poisoned, but that doesn't mean that then everything in the well is poison. People poison the well, right? We have these conversations all the time about what we think and what we like and what we don't like. But at the end of the day, if at some point the conversation can kind of get co-opted by nefarious entities, right? And I hear you on that, and because of that, we must pause in our pursuits. But I will not let the idea that, oh, this will sound like it's poisoning the well, so I won't, I'll move softly, as we all should. We'll move cautiously, but if it's something interesting that the community we feel needs to know, I'm hoping that we've built up enough integrity with our community to know that we're not trying to poison the well, and that's not what we're here for, right? But again, we will move cautiously moving forward in that way.
Yeah, I think the only thing I would say, like future-wise, like at the top of the article, you explain like you're not saying this is happening.
Yeah. At the top and at the bottom.
Right. Okay. I just think for me, like if we were publishing something like this in the future, I would hope that in the future we would think about how we title it, right? And again, I understand the purpose.
The title of the title of the post. It is.
No, I understand, but that doesn't have to be our title, right? That's the post title. In the same way, we are not owning what is said in the post. We don't have to adopt the title of the post, right? And the other thing that I would say that we could do, just because again we have to think of the reason people come here, we could say this is nobody else is reporting this. This is where this is coming from. It's not something you should ignore because of the source of it. And now we can, kind of adjudicate the things that we think make sense or don't make sense.
Which we said, right? We did say that. Like, this is the conversation. If you want to talk about it, click the link and join us in the Discord for the conversation, right?
Well, I would say, right. I would say we should have at least some of that conversation in the article, because that's us adding our intelligence and insight to what we're presenting, right? Because I think the brand is that people come to us for insight. At least I think. I mean, maybe they come here to hear me complain about PlayStation. I don't know.
Hey, that could be what it is as well. That could be what it is as well.
They come here for our insight and expertise and experience and things like that. So
as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, we like to keep this stuff on Front Street. We're moving in different waters these days, and we're trying to be as above board as possible. We're not here for the clickbait, right? If we were, you'd see far more articles for us because we get some stuff. Well, we never put it out there, right? So that's not what we're about. We're trying to move in this space, and like we said, there's a lot of energy here and a lot of attention being paid, and we're able to parlay this into viewership and a lot of great folks that are in our community, spending their own time, their own money, their own travel expenses, and this and that, all to come and work with us and get GCP to the people. Right. So the more attention you pay, the super chats, the reading of the articles, all of that assists in moving that ball forward. So when I have the notion of whether I want to put something out or not, it's not just what I feel like should be or shouldn't be posted. Sometimes I also have to think of the fact that, hey, I'm trying to, it's not just my initiative trying to move the ball forward. I'm representing a group of folks that are working very hard. So again, we will move cautiously, and please, this is what we do here. Shout out to the great nerds and other legends and other folks who have contributed to this as well. You know, we appreciate criticism. Holler at us in the DMs. Let's have a conversation if you have anything you wish to bring.
And Soil Tech says people might also come here to hear me glaze
to the Sonic glaze. Yeah. The Sonic glazing is on deck. That's for sure. Sonic glazing, yes. But anyway, yes. Check out a lot of the previews we're doing here. Anytime anything technology drops, you know we're gonna talk about it. Steam Deck price increases. Obviously, the Steam Machine was there's a whole conversation. You know, a lot of great convos being had both on the show and in our Discord, as well as on thegamingcircle.com. So check it out. Thank you all so much for your continued support. This
is a good segue. We should talk about the Steam Machine pre-orders and price, because that happened since the last show. That happened on Monday.
Did. Indeed, it did. And actually, I put the Steam Machine in here as a topic of conversation. So let's head to that direction. Very simple, very off the dome. You buying one?
No, but however, I did get in the queue for the 512.
I did as well, and they did remind me. I don't know why I did. I'm not buying one, but yes, tell me why you got one.
Shout out to Sante's favorite person, Sycamore. He says, "Long live Father Gabe."
Yeah.
What up, Sick?
The man who's welcome anytime, as long as he comes with gentle energy. Anyway, continue.
So all right, this is a topic that permeates more than Valve and more than Xbox and PlayStation, right? We are in the midst. What do you got there, buddy? Oh, that looks like a B50.
Keep talking, sir.
Okay, so you guys might not know
250 boys is out here, son. We're gonna keep going.
We're gonna come to that in a second. But so everyone in the gaming community, the entire discourse, all of this, we've all been waiting for the Steam Machine. Now, Kay Asante and I, before the Steam Machine was a thing, we dubbed it the Steam Box. We knew it was coming.
Gabe Cube,
Yes. So we've even built our own using mini PCs in preparation of it coming.
Indeed. Yep.
And so now it's finally here. And when it was announced, it kind of lit the world on fire. Right.
Indeed, it did. Yes.
And then there was the issue of cost, and we know we are in the midst of a Rampocalypse. We know that everyone has been raising their prices, and the question was, are they going to do console prices? Meaning, are they going to subsidize? But even the console prices have been becoming unaffordable.
If they subsidize, it'll be $800.
Right. Exactly. And so, or will it be PC prices? And we know what's going on in that space. And so the other issue was that this thing, they decided to go with a discrete GPU. It's still laptop parts, but it's a discrete GPU, and it is not a high-end GPU. It's an 8 gig of VRAM GPU, which some people say is not future proof. Some people say if you only play indie games, you're fine. And
if you're trying to play Celeste and Stardew Valley forever, you are good.
Right.
You're good. That's it.
But again,
don't try 007 though.
At least people like the design, they were ready for it. And so now the pre-orders finally you could get on a list, but they finally announced the price.
And what's that price, ladies and gentlemen?
Starts at $1049 for 512 gigs and no controller. And the higher end, which has everything the same except you get more storage, is an extra $300 for a 2 terabyte version. And Valve had been telegraphing this for a while, and then when they released it, a lot of people thought like, oh well, the Steam machine is going to replace the Xbox in the living room. Oh, Sony's pulling out a PC because they're afraid of the Steam machine. All of these things were said, and then this thing comes out. It
like
can
a hot,
basically, and not all the time, keep pace with a base PS5. We haven't seen Xbox Series X comparisons, which I'd like to see, but it's not even holding a candle to the PS5 Pro. And so, but then again, FSR 4 will come, 4.1 will come out, so we'll see what it does then. But the point is, 512, 1,050, and Valve had done this sort of apology tour about the price, saying, "Listen, we plan to keep this thing lower, and now because of Rampocalypse, we don't have any buying power in the market. Like, we're not an OEM who's building millions of PCs a year. We're not a console manufacturer. We're not a data center. And so when people call them, and they're basically playing retail prices almost. So, and we know that because if you try to build this yourself, you're going to come at around the same price. You might get a better CPU because you can do like a 9060, right?
You won't get the same motherboard though, because that thing is a custom tiny SoC that they put together.
Right. You know? But again, you know, you can they would get calls from the Microns and SK Hynix and whoever else of the world who have RAM to sell, and they'll say this is the price. And if they say no, we can't pay that price, they'll never get a call back because there's people waiting. Micron, their stock right now is up something like 600%, right? Since
their what was it? Their margins were 82%.
82%, right? And they are basically booked for 5 years.
Yes, they've already had a deal, and we'll get into the tech talk of it all later because there's a lot more.
And then the other major provider is SK Hynix, and SK Hynix has an exclusive deal with Microsoft for their data center.
Yeah.
Now it's hilarious that Microsoft won't give any of that memory to their gaming division, which makes more than Windows, but that's neither here nor there. We're not here to talk about that right now. We will, but the point is, I don't think Valve wanted this price.
Yeah.
Right. I think they wanted to have it.
They did.
Lower,
IGN did come out with a report after saying that 750 was going to be the highest end version pre all of this.
So this is the thing. I think they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. But again, that doesn't change what has to come out of your wallet to buy this thing. So I'm sorry, Valve. I'm sorry for Father Gabe's yachts, right? But when I see that price for a Steam machine, which I really wanted, I have to ask myself, could I build better?
And
another thing Valve did, they gave out SteamOS 3.8 that includes a generic version of the Steam machine.
I mean, to be fair on that part,
Bazite has been out.
Bazite been out forever, and these guys have not been really doing that big support thing anyway. You can download the ISO for it long time. They just don't make it easy for you to install. You have to know how to do it yourself.
I understand, but 3.8 does solve some of that, right? Jimmy Champagne, he just did it with the new 3.8.1.
Shout out to Fan of Deck.
Right? Yeah. I think he clocked 20 minutes from wiping Windows to installing and running his first game, right? So and they're saying this will run on anything instead of like picking specific hardware now. Anything AMD. So they have put some more work into that, right? And that will get better because there are still some kinks there. But again, once you know that's there, once you know Bazite is there, do you ask yourself, what can I build or even buy pre-built for $1,000? or
the
13
pre-built words,
1300.
the pre-built world, as you know, is if you do some work, you can find either something that is more cost to performance for you, or you can also find something that right along the lines you can get a little cheaper, but it's getting less and less and less and less likely to find that because everyone's raising their prices. If you want to get your price really good while the performance is killer, you have to go used on that one at this point. If you're talking like just generic PC, like there are mad
I'm
PCs
gonna
on the
send you a
secondary
link
market.
for
Yes,
a
the mini
pre-built.
PC you saw, yes, but that's more than this, right? But not by much, and it gives you a lot more performance. Am I wrong?
Yes, but let me show you something. Let me show you something.
Sure.
You keep
So
talking. I'm gonna find this link and then we'll share it with them.
While we're having this conversation, this dovetails into the B250 boys. That's what we call it ourselves. Hashtag B250 boys. We here. Now, why are we having this conversation? We're having this conversation because when we saw this being a thing, right, and we were all speculating on price, this, which we'll explain, was also bubbling in the background. If you haven't seen it, and what this is basically a system on chip. If you haven't seen it, go check your YouTubes. It's called the AMD BC250. And what this is literally a binned PS5 chip. These are PS5s. That's what they are, right? They don't come this way because when AMD was making them, and this is a short little lesson for people, when you go to a retailer or a manufacturer to make something, you say, I want X amount of this thing. Then they go through the process and they make that X amount. But they don't make exactly the X amount. They make a whole lot more because not every single one that comes off the shoulder, comes off the line, will meet that exact criteria. Some of them will be less performant, some of them will be more. Like they try to make every single one uniform because that's what Sony orders, right? But they don't all come out uniform. Some of them will be a little bit this, some of them will be a little bit that, different. And those are not meeting Sony's criteria. So what do you do with those? Throw those away? No. What they do is they artificially limit them via software, as far as firmware and BIOS and the like, and then they repurpose them for something else. What did they repurpose all these for? Crypto mining. So if you go, you'll see there's like people show websites where there's like 20, 30, 40 of these in one rack.
Okay, somebody's at my door. I'll be right back.
No worries.
Keep telling them about the BC250.
No worries. Yep.
That's also a good comment from Sick. Check it out.
Everborn Sycamore says Everborn Micron told these big capex for years that they have to pay low margins for memory. We control the price. Yesterday's price is not today's price. That is indeed true. Yes, because I think there was even a story about Micron's new deal and whatnot, which is wild. And that deal almost ensures that till 2030, RAM is going to be wild here. It is what it is. Anyway, so this brings us to this guy. What happened here is, since these things were all used for crypto mining, they are now, and crypto mining, as you know, crypto is not the fruitful endeavor it used to be. So now people put this thing on eBay, selling it used. It started out, the cheapest one I saw was what, $120, $130 at first. I bought this for $180. Why? Because with this, folks in the community have unlocked a bunch of the CUs, because by and large, when you buy this thing, it's binned and limited by the software. The great community members, and we'll get into all that much later. Great community members have done yeoman's work to unlock all that. The PlayStation 5 has 36 usable CUs. You can unlock this to have 40 CUs, even more than the PlayStation 5. The PlayStation 5 does have 2 more cores than this does. Those cores are also in here, but they, through software, have also been limited. And so far, the community hasn't been able to unlock them. But even with the more CUs, this dude, for $130 some, can run rings around the PS5. Like rings around the PS5. Why? Because even though it's the same SoC, people can overclock it. You're running Bazite, so you can do a lot more than the limited closed ecosystem that is the PlayStation 5. So all in all, what this has done is it has galvanized some members of our Discord to say, you know what? Screw all that. We gonna do this thing ourselves. So we're printing cases, because that's the only way you're getting this running. You have to print your own custom case. You have to have your own little hard power supply. But don't worry, they're fine, folks. We will put some stuff together. There's a lot of information out there, but we're doing it. This is going to be our weekend warrior project. When we're done, this dude is playing Cyberpunk better than the PlayStation is. And as you can see, these are some of the cases that are out there right now. These are some of the cases
I like that silver
there.
one. That's interesting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Did you show them the really one that I 3D printed that you ordered?
I have not showed them that yet. You can. Do you have the video for it? I can put it out there.
I don't know how to get you the video.
Sure. Okay. So let me find. I'll find it and post it up. But needless to say, all of these are cases for the B250. People put it together their own way. It's quite easy to do now. Oh, here's the case we're talking about. It's quite easy to do now because the idea that the community has done so much already. So a lot of this is just very turnkey and just follow the instructions and whatnot.
Here's the thing. You don't need, I happen to have a 3D printer, and you can just print like Asante. You literally
I bought this on eBay. Yes, it's coming today.
Right.
With the fan already installed, with power switch already there. All I got to do is slip my device in, slip the power supply in, hit the power button. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and for me, I just said, wait a minute. I went to Maker World and I just
which we are right here.
The one button
right here. He has the printer.
Right.
You know.
And that grill is magnetic, so it comes off just like the steam machine. And I had to, like, all the parts, like the fan and the PSU was like $30, right? The fan was another like $10, things like that. They show you how to assemble it. You can do this. I got my BC250 for $135. I printed the thing for free, and then the PSU, the fan, the wires, the screws, all that stuff cost me about $75. I ordered them all from Amazon. And by the way, the instructions to print them has the links to Amazon for everything you need that it's designed to work with. So I put it all in one bundle. All that stuff's coming today. My BC250 will be here on Monday, and you know, you put it together.
And this is some of the community members have already done. Right? They bought this BC250. Right? They put it in their printed case. They have a great fan on it to keep it cool, and they are running Bazite on it, which makes it look exactly like SteamOS. So Steam Boys is out there. It is what it is, and it's running Cyberpunk at insane levels. And they're using Cyberpunk as a test bed, but look at that. It is running an average at 98 frames per second, ladies and gentlemen. That's Cyberpunk.
My all-in price is under $250, like to my door.
Yes. And what does that mean? That means you can get one of these, do some weekend work, tweaking and twerking, and you have yourself a proper Steam machine. Or you can go buy that thing for $1,000 and it won't even work half as good as this.
Now, there's a link in the private chat. I want to share, because not everybody is going to build the thing. Right?
No,
and
not everybody can do that.
If you are gonna spend the money on the top end Steam machine, right, which is $1,300, right, or $1,400 with the controller, but let's just go $1,300. Now this is if you can zoom in a little bit, we'll oh no, you don't have to zoom in. I got it. Okay, so right, you've got a Ryzen 5 7500 X3D. You've got 16 gigs of DDR5 memory, and then you have a 9070 XT with 16 gigs of VRAM. This will and it is $1,399, so it is $50 more than
this will run rings around the Steam machine. This will crush the Steam machine underfoot. Easily
for $50 extra, and it will run literally the same OS.
Yes. The great Lucius says he hates the case. It is what it is.
That's fine. Listen, if you want to pay the extra money for
Yep.
for form factor and less
Yep.
performance, or the
Or you can
8 RAM,
DIY it and it'll also run rings around it for
right?
like
So
peanuts on the dollar. So there
now
you go.
Kay, while you're there, I want you to
Mm.
search for a fractal case, because
I've seen the
I
fractal cases. Yeah.
people, yeah, but I want people to know, like, you can get living room friendly cases. So there's the fractal North, and then there's the fractal Terra. Show those.
Like the Terra is very cool. That is very living room friendly. It's very living
Comes
room
in black
friendly.
also, if you don't like
Comes in black as well.
the
Yeah.
green,
Yeah.
and it has the wood
There's
grain.
one that's
And then
very
the Terra,
thin.
right? Well, show them the North. Show them the North,
Where's
because
the
the North mid
Terra?
tower.
Oh, it is the North. But see, but a mid tower, I agree with those who don't want like a PC tower.
No, I get that. I get that. The only thing is, like, for me, I'm putting one of these in the living room at the other house. It's going to be a 9070 X3 9070 XT build with one of those X3D Ryzen whatevers. But this one, this will be right at home next to a subwoofer, right? If you got a subwoofer in the living room, like this can.
But but look, let's be fair. Let's be fair. I know you don't. It doesn't bother you, and that's fine. But this size is too much for many in the living room. It just is. It just is. It really is. Look at the size of that. That is too big for many in the living room.
The white one makes it look bigger, but I understand. I understand what you're saying.
Oh man,
look at that.
We're just in innuendo territory. Terrible innuendo territory. We're moving on.
Once you go black, you can't go back. But
stop it. No. Like while we're having this conversation, let me show you another fractal case. That one is very, very living room friendly. If I can find it, I was super surprised that it exists. It's a ITX case, not a standard ATX, but it is so living room friendly. I was like, holy crap, if only we could get the B250 running in this thing, we'd be in there like swimwear. Check this out, bro. Look at that. Now that is a living room friendly case, like tiny, and it can live alongside all of your equipment. Super tiny.
I think the fractal looks better. I don't know.
This is a fractal as well, sir.
No, I think the fractal North looks better than that.
Well, see, this is tiny. It's considerably smaller. You can put it on its side, and it can be basically a set-top box, and it looks like a set-top box. It doesn't look like a PC. Look at that. It doesn't look like a PC at all. It's a set-top box, small, unassuming.
I'm concerned about the thermals in that setup right there.
Well, yeah, of course, but that's the thing. You're not putting like a full. See, you wouldn't understand it because you're Mr. 4090 in the bedroom. No, that's not what you use that for. That's not what you use that for. But I guess what we're saying is there are options available to people. There are very much options available to people.
But see, this is the beauty of what Valve is doing, and why I really hope that Microsoft takes the Xbox mode more seriously, because the point is, for some people, as Sick is saying, like sorry, I'll come back to that Paris comment. For some people, they kind of just want the Gabe Cube. It's unassuming. It stays, you know what I mean? And that works for them. But for those that it doesn't work for, wherever you are on the spectrum, the man Paris needs to speak more tech talk, bruh, because he's absolutely right. And real quick, because he said it, CashOS is like even better than Bazite and better than SteamOS for this. It's known as the one that gets the most performance out of this one. Right. Interesting.
Once you run everything and you put CashOS on it, and of course you can make it look like Valve's UI UX, you can do that. It's even more performant with CashOS than Bazite or SteamOS. This thing can do that.
And again, like this is, as I was saying, this was the beauty, right? Wherever you are on the spectrum.
Yeah.
If you are I don't want to think about it, you make all those decisions for me, Valve.
I'll be right back.
Yep. If you make all the decisions for me, Valve, I don't want to think about it. I want to basically a console experience. Steam machines right there. Okay. I don't know how to build a PC, but I want more power than the Steam machine for the same money. Go get a pre-built. Oh, I really want to take things up a notch. Go build it yourself with all the different case options, so it will be more living room friendly. Oh, you're really a DIYer. go get a BC250 for under $200 and then order a 3D printed case, and now you put it together yourself and you got the same thing. That's beauty, because it covers everyone wherever they are wherever it's meeting everyone where they are, right? So maybe you are a DIYer like Kay Asante. Maybe you don't want to think about it like Sycamore. Maybe you're somewhere in between where you have the money, but the performance is not enough, so you want to go on the pre-built side. All of those things work. And now the question, and it's all brought together by SteamOS or the different variants of it, which are Bazzite, CachyOS, all that. So I think that if Microsoft knows what's good for them, they will get their Xbox mode up to snuff before SteamOS officially gets NVIDIA support.
So to be fair, because I got to be fair, today, if you have a decent piece of hardware, right? Some decent piece of hardware, which it's not really said really loudly, but this also runs Windows. This does. If you are able to, and I'm not sure if it's only through Insider program yet, or it's completely retail. I think it's only Insider for now. But today, if you get your mini PC that you were talking about, or you run one, this is a bit more nuanced because it's build or whatever. You can do the same thing with the Windows side. You can just turn on FSD.
I do this now.
Same thing.
4090.
Exactly. But but what I'm saying is you don't need to do that with the high end stuff. Normal devices that are more reasonably priced can also do that, right? But to the point we're all making, Windows as an operating system today, even with Windows out of the way, with FSC looking all shiny and whatnot, like CachyOS will get you more out of the tank. So will SteamOS. So will Bazzite. So to your point, Microsoft does need to optimize there. But today, if somebody was like, yo, I don't know anything about Linux, I don't know anything about Windows, but I got this mini PC, you can turn on FSC and you're good, right? You don't have to go swimming in the lake of Linux because it's the only way. Windows is there too. And they do still support NVIDIA. So those are options still available.
And anti-cheat. And they have 90-something% of the market. That's right. So most people are not doing this. We're just saying this exists for the
but the important part that needs to be mentioned is, at the end of the day, with prices going so astronomically high and people having such a hard time, and like we've spoke about this on this show many times, we believe that the console generations will last forever at this point because it's not financially advantageous for both developers, makers, or retail users to upgrade, because you're not spending so much ridiculous money. So please let me finish. So the long and short of it is, and you'll see this on our channel and stuff as well, we'll be putting more time into DIY and reusing of old devices that can be made new with good software. There's going to be a lot more emphasis on you rekindling the fires of old tech to do more, because it's not easy to buy new anymore. You know what I'm saying?
So one of the other things that I've been talking about for the last couple of weeks here, longer than that, but really vocalizing it in the last couple of weeks, is we are hyper focused on games here in the gaming industry. I mean, it's called the Gaming Circle Podcast, right? But I think that this isn't happening in a vacuum. So when we
love it when he
prices,
just dovetails it right into bam.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So when we see these prices and we get the sticker shock for what a Steam machine costs, or the Xbox console price increase that we're going to talk about shortly, or we see Apple raising their prices, right? I want you to also look at your utility bill right now. And I want you to think about what you paid for it in 2020 versus what it is now. Think about how much you pay for a gallon of milk now. Think about what you pay for rent now. Think about how much it costs to buy the same house now that it did in 2020. What we are witnessing is the devaluing of the American dollar. And it's not just in America, this is happening all over the world, but we are in America, so that's what I'm speaking to. the dollar is being devalued. Inflation is happening, and our incomes are not increasing
Keeping
at
up
the
pace.
same rate
Yeah, we're
of
not keeping up
inflation,
pace.
right?
Yep.
And so these things all seem like, oh my God, how could they do this? Everything is like this. Go buy gas right now, right? All of the you think of anything that you buy, look how much one cart of groceries costs right now. Go to your local Costco, go to your supermarket, see what it is. So it's not just gaming companies increasing prices for the sake of it. Like, these things are all going up, and they're like doubling.
So do you appreciate the little bit of smoke that the BBC had to? Even the BBC's council war in. Even the BBC's council war. They talk about Apple raising prices, but they got to throw Xbox in there real quick just to remind you.
I don't think I won't say that. They're just saying like it's happening from Microsoft.
It's happening all over the place. I know.
Also, speaking of that, the new Surface came out, which is the same Surface as last year, but with half the memory for a higher cost.
That's right, and more. Yes. So as you know, as you see, right, all these prices are increasing all across the board. Even the Apple, the super cost-effective Apple laptop that came out, right? Even that has increased by $100 to $150 per device. I had to jump in there real quick before it got too high, so one's coming. So yes, I had to do that because it was getting ridiculous. But anyway, this is happening all over the place. And of course, it dovetails beautifully into the updates that Microsoft had dropped on us, which is, hey, guess what? Prices, they going up. Some of these things is wild. I'm sorry to say, Everborn Saga, I've always been the man who loves to champion the Series S because it is the best, cheapest way to get into gaming in the next gen now. I don't think I can do that anymore. It's $499 for the Series S.
All right, what is so the Series S is now the same price as the Switch 2?
Yes.
I would go with the Switch 2. I mean, there's no Game Pass there, but I mean, it is mobile.
Yeah, so. It does depend on what you do, but yeah, the Switch 2 it's more of a mover and shaker now.
But if we're talking about what is the cheapest way you can play GTA right now?
It would be the Series S. Still, it is still cheaper than all the others, right? It's just too damn expensive, even on its face.
The rent is too damn high. I get it, but everything is up. You know. So relatively, true. It is still what it was.
Yeah.
And again, it sucks. What bothers me about this, as we were saying earlier, right, is we hear, Microsoft complaining about the chip prices, but it's like the call is coming from in the house. Like the prices are so high is because you locked up SK Hynix with an exclusive deal, and it's like
no. But that was before you threw everyone, you and many others threw everyone into the gauntlet of AI, making it impossible for anyone to keep up with the chips. And then you yoked up SK Hynix for your own benefit.
Right.
And then one hand does that, and then the other hand comes out and goes, internet, memory problem, price hikes. Yeah, mother effer, go talk to your other hand.
You would think they could give some of that memory to the
other guy. Yeah, no.
So it's just like, this is what makes it difficult to empathize with their situation.
Yes, sir. By the way, it's not over. It's not over because there's more to it. Moore's Law is dead. I don't know if you saw this. I don't know how factual this is. I just thought it was interesting point to bring to this conversation, which is the word. And he says, this is Moore's Law is dead on Twitter. He says the word on the Xbox price increase, blame those stupid little SSDs they insisted on using, just like Steam Machine did. Multiple sources have confirmed this. Those SSDs have had a massive price increase. The GDDR6 has not seen the same increases as GDDR7 and LPDDR5X have. And if you look, this is the chips they put in. Let me see. Those are the chips. They're both on the Xbox and in the Steam with the little 2230s.
Never.
And the prices are insane. Prices are
Never go
insane.
proprietary, man.
But again, I am not saying that this is necessarily the reason for it per se, because I like Lucius believe that it is most likely their JIT model, right? The just-in-time model, which then has you come to those same vendors every time you need a new round, versus just having a pipeline that just keeps making them, turn. So every time they go, the prices change. Now they're susceptible to newer price targets rather than the negotiation that they created a long time ago.
We don't know what they're doing now, but I think the problem is, if you didn't have these, this is what everybody's facing. If you didn't have these contracts in place years ago,
your SOL, even
if you want to change it now, there's nothing there, right?
Yes. And to make matters even worse, because we're just rolling through all of these, Lenovo is now warning that high memory prices are the new normal through 2030. Right, and that could be because of the Micron deal. They're locking it in at high prices till 2030. But DRAM and NAND prices are also super high.
I don't want to be a Debbie Downer here, right, or a negative Norman.
Negative Norman.
But
okay,
everybody's saying just so that people are pretending that the light is guaranteed at the end of the tunnel in the next 2 to 2.5 years. We don't know that. What everyone is saying is we hope in 2030 that this will subside. We don't know. This is why I'm saying,
get your DIY legs under you, ladies and gentlemen. Get comfortable with secondary markets. Get comfortable with refurbs. Some people may start flying those dirty seas. This is the world we live in because prices are
that can have multiple meanings, sir. And I'm just gonna say,
stop it.
Okay. Anyway, what I'm see. This is what I'm talking about.
Oh man,
this is the stuff I'm talking about.
Oh man. Okay.
China will turn to Rorschach on you, sir.
Yep.
If you understand the reference. But I don't know that this changes, and even if it does, do you think you're going back to a place where you're going to get a $500 console?
No,
even if you wait till 2030.
This is why I'm telling people,
we are at the point.
Get your sea legs under you.
I was like, let me hold my nose because I don't think the 5090 is worth it at $2,000. Do you know you can't get one now for less than $3,700?
Yeah.
$3,700 what you got to pay for a 5090.
Yep. If I buy a 50 series card, it'll most likely be the 5080 at some point, but I don't need it. So don't need it. I don't need it. And it's past the point of frivolous spending to dangerous territories. It's helping me, so I don't even have to worry about it because that is way too rich for my blood. For anyone who has responsibilities and a brain, not happening.
I hear what he's saying. Chinese RAM vendors are kicking up production. They're building the fab. Here's the problem. Who is to say that they're even going to sell the RAM to American companies? Right?
Who's to say they'll be allowed to?
One, will they be allowed to? But you could literally destroy the American economy by just letting this whole chip crisis play out while you only give it to Chinese manufacturers.
Remember, their leadership in America has said, you know what? If you're going to make the hardware here, or you're going to import it here, here's import cost and this and that and the third. Right? Leaders are moving and shaking to make themselves more beneficial as far as their country. What's to say China goes, you know what? Just like NVIDIA is not allowed to sell to us anymore, y'all not allowed to give RAM chips to them,
making it worse, right?
Yeah.
So listen, the enemy of your enemy is not always your friend, buddy.
Not necessarily. Yeah, not necessarily.
Now,
really
Paris says, sad times buying new hardware has become irresponsible. Here's the problem with that. It is so bad right now that you got to wonder, though, if you don't buy the hardware when it's first released, is it going to be more expensive later? So is it irresponsible to wait?
That's right. That's right.
This is the scary thing.
What I feel what that's doing is making graybeards buy, or pay pigs rather, buy now, right? Heck, I did it, right? Like as soon as Lucius and I are in the DMs, oh man, Apple, like I've wanted I play in all the ecosystems, but I have not played in Mac for a while because I don't do as much audio production in Mac. So like, oh, I'll get it eventually. They're making those small devices. I'll get it eventually. But we heard they increased the price 2 days ago. Buy it real quick before you're susceptible to that. It's causing PayPix to buy more because God forbid you wait for a week. Now the price is $150 more. A lot of people are buying quickly. Talk to Floodzilla, shout out to the great Floodzilla, about him buying NVIDIA cards. He hates himself now for jumping in. But had you not done that, it's even more expensive now. It's a crazy world we live in. It's a crazy world we live in. It is very sad. Very sad.
Now, and I understand. So here's the thing, right? Well, that's the wrong one. Slow-mo says in the month of May, Xbox had the lowest sales ever. PlayStation, the lowest sales since 2000. Something has got to give if this is supposed to be the future until 2030.
Indeed.
Here's the rock in the hard place, though, Slow-mo. I want you to think about this. In order to get prices back in line to what even something acceptable, meaning just get back to 2020 prices, because it's not prices aren't lowering, but we can't even keep the launch prices of 2020. They would have to now subsidize for $200 to $300 per unit, right? Just to keep the 2020 prices. I want you to think about this. At $200 a pop, if they just sold 1 million units, that's $200 million that's coming out of their margins. Now, let's say they sell 10 million units, right? That's $2 billion.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
$2 billion on companies that are making sub 10% margins.
Yeah.
So Xbox,
and you're making upwards of 80 some odd percent.
And PlayStation is at 8 to 9%. So off of 30 billion that PlayStation makes in total revenue, what they keep is about $3 billion. That's if they hit 10 on a given year, right? And if you spend $2 billion, hold on, if you spend $2 billion subsidizing, all your margins are almost gone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like, even if they wanted to subsidize, could they at that level, at the level of where they are with margins?
So Black Skeleton is speaking the truth here. He says, I'll be cleaning all my devices this weekend. Can't afford to buy new hardware. Seriously, what's old is new. Keep your stuff around. And all the fake frames talk and all the, they're leaning on this. Yeah, now we all have to lean on that because that's the only way you're going to be able to continue to give your old devices new life. Let that software revise. Let them do real good things. Now, here's a potential saving grace, if you will. We'll go here with me, and then we'll take a quick pause and get back to the stories. A potential saving grace of that, what I would think is, because hardware is so hard to move these days, you will see developers do more with the hardware that they have. Right? Remember during the 360 gen, you got 2 Forzas in one generation. And the first Forza was way less visually stunning than the last Forza on the same console. Why? Because they had no choice but to kind of keep iterating on what they had. So the one that came out at the beginning of the gen was great. The one that came out at the end of the gen was even better. I suspect because hardware is not moving or won't move until 2030 and all of that, and even then we don't know, you see developers target the existing more than the future because the future doesn't really exist for most of us.
Let me tell you something, and y'all not gonna want to hear this. All of y'all crying about fake frames and DLSS 5.
It's what's gonna save you now.
Right.
It's all that's saving you now, for sure. Those of you with Legion Go 1s, right? They were mothballed until FSR 4 came out. Now you can take that thing off, dust it off, and you got a great piece of hardware for the future. It was dusted, and I know Lenovo has been going back and forth on whether they're going to support it, like put support back on it again. You can basically roll your own drivers and like roll the standard AMD drivers, and then bring this thing back to life. Because we lived in a place where the Legion Go 2 came out, so now we're dissing the 1. We don't live in that world no more. We do not live there anymore.
Now,
every piece of hardware has a reason to exist currently. I'm sorry.
To this end, Brad Sams in his weekly video, shout out to Brad Sams. He said, like, is one of the potential answers to this stuff, instead of releasing Helix right away,
Delay it?
Maybe you just upgrade the series console so that they're running the PC stuff and the series becomes the Helix.
That is an interesting thought. It's an interesting thought. It can they do that? Sure, but I feel like the way the hardware was originally engineered would kind of push back on them. It would take some work to kind of make that work, but it's not impossible.
They said they're doing work now. It would be crazy, right? Like turning, because if you have the backwards compatibility, but you switch it to a proper Windows mode where you can bring in the other stuff, does that give a new life to the Series X? Which at least
it might.
You can produce that for under 1,000. The Helix is definitely going to be over 1,000, and we see what's happening there.
You're right. The problem is,
in that case, would the Series S also get it, or does the Series S?
No, that's what I was about to just say. If in that case, you would have to segregate the S from the X, because the S is right on the edge, and there is really no overhead there. Right? You actually have to build your games in a very optimized way in order to make that S shine. I've said this for years, and a lot of people have been kind of lazying it up, because obviously that hardware maybe hasn't warranted spending a lot of time.
And by the way,
if you switch it to Windows, you have even less overhead, unless we're talking about a new optimized version of Windows, which we haven't seen yet.
Right. And again, the Series X could absolutely do it, because
absolutely.
We see these PC handhelds being able to do it, and this is more powerful than that. But in the scenario that I'm talking about, maybe what then you are releasing, the Helix is no longer this monster PC, but then it just becomes a Series X Pro.
Basically,
and then that way you keep the price down. Listen. Modern times call for modern solutions. Okay.
It is,
but
what are they? It is crazy out there. It is crazy out there. Yes. So real quick, let's catch up on a couple super chats, and then we'll get back to the business of it. The man with one of the best names on YouTube, the Winter Shoulder. I love that. With a $5. He says, do you guys think Sharma's going to run Xbox like a spun-off subsidiary first to see how it runs itself? If successful, they go all the way.
Well, I
don't know about all the way. There is thoughts to
what does all the way mean?
Meaning what he means all the way, so the way they spin them off, like subsidiary, like right now that would be LinkedIn and a few others. But I think, but what I'm inferring from what he's saying, go all the way, as in spin them out completely to the point where they're no longer part of Microsoft. I don't think they do that. I think the idea of them having their own infrastructure, as far as their own organizational structure, like LinkedIn does and a few others, that is more likely to be seen. But them spinning it out to the point where they're no longer in gaming, I don't think they do that, because they've invested too much into it already. And it's actually ROI'd for them pretty well. So them removing it would be unusual. Well, crazier things have happened, but I think we see more of the LinkedIn model than them cutting it off and selling it off to somebody else or making them independent. I don't think we see that. What do you think of it?
Well, if it was successful, why would you want to get rid of them, right? So if we're saying but again, if we're saying that they operate as a wholly owned subsidiary, as opposed to fully integrated,
like LinkedIn,
or kind of like PlayStation to Sony. They did this back in 2016.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. Exactly. Yeah.
They don't own them. It just means that they can operate on their
independently. Their own balance sheets, their own situation. Yes.
Things become different and things like that. And I do think that there is some benefit there. Also, another thing to consider is, what if the real thing that's causing them not to be able to communicate is that they are so siloed as it were? Think before you spun off, you'd actually have to fully integrate XGS, Bethesda, and ABK, so that they operate as a single publisher,
as a unit, right? And then you can spend. That's right. Yeah, absolutely.
And you might find enough savings in doing that to where the margins become to where it's a more sustainable situation.
The great MJ Dark with a $10 super chat. And once again, shout out to MJ Dark. He did a wonderful Observer, Switch 2 Observer review that all people should be reading. If you like Observer, if you like the Switch 2, he puts a lot of attention and a lot of deference into it. Shout out to the great MJ Dark. He's here with a $10 super chat. He says Switch 2 is the best place to play for Star Fox. Shout out to the media saviors who changed the narrative. Not all layoffs are the same when the logos are sacred symbols. Oh boy. OD is it will be peak Gojima we trust. He's just putting it all in there.
He said, putting it all in. Money's worth on that $10.
all the bars, you know, all the bars.
Oh, okay. So the Bungie thing is interesting. I don't know if you're ready to talk about that.
We'll get there. I think I lost the chat. Give me. Oh, hold on. There we go. And then the great Soil Tech, another great community member who leaves awesome articles. So you should be checking out. $2 super chat. He says like, please, and subscribe. BC 250 boys forever born. Yes, appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. And then finally, we have Mr. Two Opinion with a $2 super chat. He says, Facebook Marketplace, take advantage of ignorance. No truer words, ladies and gentlemen. At this point, you can buy RAM with a
but also meet in public places.
Yeah, absolutely. But to his point, there are still PCs that are on Facebook Marketplace that have like 32 to 64 gigs of RAM, and they don't know they have liquid gold in that thing. They don't know they have something that's the equivalent of the same value now.
I can't do Facebook Marketplace anymore because every time I've tried it, it's felt like I was doing a drug deal. It's always like
Slow-mo says bring protection. So before we continue, once again, I must thank all the great folks that are here.
What kind of protection?
One moment.
I don't know what kind of. Okay.
Thank y'all so much for continued watching. Between all the various platforms, we're around 315 people watching right now. Thank y'all so much. Please get the likes up on the YouTubes if you are watching via YouTube. Let the algorithm know that we are here and we are doing good work so that it continues to feed. Thanks for all the super chats, because as I said early on, we are now kind of in a pseudo fundraiser to try and augment some of the finances so that we can make it out to PAX West and all the various other places we want to be able to cover and bring coverage to y'all. So thank you so much. Again, we don't want anyone to put themselves out. Do not donate any money if it affects you negatively in any way. We've just talked about it all day. Times are tough, folks. Times are tough. If you can't help us in that way, just hit that like button. Hit that retweet button if you can retweet it for us. Let folks know we here. Go and read thegamingcircle.com. And we appreciate all of your assistance, however you choose to provide it. Thank you so much. So let us continue onward.
Slow-mo says, I know what kind of protection. No, I don't know what you was referring to, Slow-mo. Is it the Facebook Marketplace kind of protection?
This is the slander this is the slander that takes our time away,
I know. I'm just saying, is it Facebook Marketplace or is it Craigslist kind of protection? Because those are two different things. Okay, go ahead.
So, ladies and gentlemen, even after all the moving and shaking, even after all the craziness that's out there, it seems that PlayStation is still on their business. I don't know if you've seen this. They are still like, hey, nothing to see here. We're still pushing to make a great live service game. And they're teasing a handheld. What do you think of this?
Maybe, because I know that I don't really put any stock in what Sneakers SO says. But I do put more stock into Kepler L2 when he says something, and he said that both, and this was months ago, but he did say that both Sony and Microsoft were targeting releasing things in 2027. And if Sony's going to do anything in 2027, it's not a PS6. It would be some kind of a handheld.
Maybe Sony saw the Xbox Ally X and went, and they release a Linux variant for their own, because they also run.
I don't know that makes a lot of sense.
Who knows? It's just interesting to me.
Eastside Vandal says, "How do I know what a drug deal feels like?" That's a Discord conversation, sir.
Eastside, stop that. Your heart rate's climbing. Anyway, for those who know, I find this super interesting that they are still very much gung-ho front street about live service games when it hasn't really worked out for them so much. I mean, I would still continue to churn the butter on it because eventually you find one that works and that's great. But to be so on Front Street about it when you've had just such a hard time to connect, I think it's a little bold. It's a little bold there, Cotton. I don't know. Well, how you feeling?
Here's the thing. We know Horizon Hunter Gatherers is happening. And Sony looks at the data and they see what's mostly being played on their platform. And so they want some of that. And they also see that, who they consider their main competitor, apart from time, TikTok and whatever else, like for all Xbox's faults, they are very good at service games, whether homegrown or acquired. Like you're talking about people that are the owners of Call of Duty, Minecraft, ESO, Fallout 76, Forza, and Sea of Thieves, right? And so they have to see that and see the money that generates and say that we need to have a bigger piece of that, because the market for the kind of games that they make is still strong, but it is not it's not growing. And that is evidenced by all of their sequels have performed less than
softly.
Than their predecessors, right? And there's a lot of reasons for that, but it still is true, and you can't run away from that. And so where they see the growth is these sort of live service or friend slop or multiplayer or whatever. And what their biggest success this generation is still Helldivers 2.
Yeah, that's true.
But what this really says to me is they are going to continue going down this path, and they've straight up said those games are going to be more multi-platform. Right. And so what a lot of people thought that they were pulling away from that in the same way they thought they were going to pull away from PC for the single player games. But what this reads to me is you're going to continue to only get 1 to 2 single player games.
Oh yeah, absolutely, because they know that the single player games aren't where their money is being made. So but they also know that some contingency of their fan base really loves those. So they keep throwing you one bone every year if they do. And then everything else will still be live service stuff. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. It's kind of weird, but I feel like for the company that makes such good like moves when it comes to messaging, this was to me a little bit odd. I don't know. This was just a little bit odd to me. I wasn't sure how I felt about this one, but okay.
And I still negative Norman, but I don't think Hunter Gatherers is gonna connect with anybody.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily so sure that that's what's gonna happen here either. I'm not necessarily so sure.
So what do you think is it does Fair Games still come out?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know that Fair Games comes out.
People are saying, But if they're saying if we don't think it's going to come out, then what could they be referring to? Are they going to greenlit a whole nother 12 live service games, or what? Like, what is going to be the strategy there? I hope we'll see. Man.
Don't know. It's kind of wild. It is. Oh, we have to go back to Xbox. We didn't finish one of the Xbox's stories, which was also very, very, very fruitful. And we actually mentioned it at the top. So shout out to the Business of Video Games podcast. Which it's a great podcast, which if you haven't been listening to, you should. Funny enough, our good buddy Aaron is the editor of said podcast. He's the audio editor. He frequently talks about it, but the show itself has been going strong for some time, and they have great conversations there. Shams, two hosts. Shams, who also happens to be the CEO of Arrowhead. Yeah, that's right, that Arrowhead. The CEO of Arrowhead, and then Fernando, who used to be the executive of sales at Raw Fury, but now he's a partner at Cadoodle Games. But basically, they are industry vets in the industry, Swedish podcasters, but English-speaking podcasts. Really, really fun. They talk deep detail about the moving and shaking in the business of it all. You should be watching it, listening to it rather. It's called The Business of Video Games podcast. It's on all the services. The reason I bring it up, because we just talked about it on this latest episode, around minute 4, they start spilling some tea
This
Shams
should also
happened
not
to
be confused with Chris Dring's
no
podcast.
no. This is the Business of Video Games podcast. It's right on the screen here. You go there, and actually you'll check it in the show notes. I'll make sure I put it in there as well. Give them the shout out that they deserve, because they've been doing good work for some time now. It's on episode 59, and every episode is right along the lines of something that you would want to find here on GCP. Deep technical business conversations about the moving and shaking of the industry. Really, really cool stuff for those who like that kind of behind closed doors look. The latest episode 59, they're talking about Shams going to a recent a community event or a business event where lots of different game creators and publishers are there. And guess what? What's the topic of conversation? People who or developers who were in mid-business conversation about a Game Pass deal, they have all been pulled back to the point where it's just kind of like,
well, the way I understood
says.
it was that everything's on hold right now. So like
Yes,
they're not getting a call back. So it's not necessarily that these things are canceled, but I think it's as they're doing a review of the business, they're rethinking what they're going to green light, and it's going to have to be. It seems like they're basically trying to shift towards high impact things. And another thing they talk about, any business that is going through hard times, and this is whether you're in games or not, they start
pause,
to look at
reevaluate.
what are the low ROI things. We have to stop those so that we don't end up in a place to where we're bleeding money. And it sucks. And we don't know if that can or should apply to a creative business, but at the same time, if there's no money to make these things, then everybody's up a paddle without a creek. So
but the long and short of it here is, this is something you should be paying attention to. The money's not going
to be so free flowing to Game Pass. And again, I just have to say, there's a lot of people in the industry that didn't want Game Pass to exist.
They might be getting what they want soon.
Right. And I bet you those same people are going to be crying about it now.
But check out the Business of Video Games podcast. Very cool. I just put the link in the chat. I'll put the link in the show notes. They go on at length about what the reasons for and why they think that is. And these are industry veterans at the upper echelons of this gaming industry. They are worth listening to. You should be checking that out. Very, very cool. And shout out to Aaron for putting it on the radar, and he's the editor there. So shout out to Aaron for that. But yeah, man, like, we will leave you to go listen to episode 59, but they really go in depth as to what they think it is. They also don't think that Game Pass is dead per se, but from what they're saying, for somebody like me, it's troubling. I'll be honest with you. It's troubling for somebody like me. Why? Because historically, Game Pass has been my way of tapping into uncharted waters, right? Like games that maybe not on everyone's radar, and they are very good at finding that small title that you didn't know you wanted, something really interesting. Today, Star Seeker is on there, Junkster is on there, many games whose names you would not recognize, but you play it and you're like, holy crap. Beatdown City Survivors. I don't know if you've played Beatdown City Survivors, Everborn. It is the truth when it comes to East Coast underground boom bap hip hop. It is so cool. These are the games I'm talking about.
Now,
and it looks like with the moving and shaking they're making here, it may not be long for the world where we get all these unusual, super interesting gems. They're going for the big heavy hitters that you know, rather than the gems that you don't.
So the one thing I'll say is, to quote Littlefinger, chaos is a ladder. And I say this to say, we can say, we find out about indie games from Game Pass, but like, we just talked about 3 indie games today that can all be had for under $20, right?
Sure, on Steam, yes.
Maybe if you don't find out about...
Since you're throwing quotes around, I got to throw this one around.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Continue.
Right, and so, maybe you come to GCP or things like it or you go to the community for those things. That Blood Gauntlet thing is a $2 game. You don't need Game Pass to know about that.
Maybe you come to GCP and we give you a lot of great recommendations a lot of great games that you should be keeping on your radar, like we do right here, right? A lot of interesting games, and there'll be a lot more coming.
I'll let you read this one, Kay Sante.
Oh man, Everborn always says one thing. he will say, and it's 5 things.
What can I say? 5x multiplier on the one more thing. But again, the question is, does that need to be what Game Pass does? Right? Because Game Pass doesn't really.
It doesn't need to be what Game Pass does, but it's what Game Pass used to do, and it cultivated a lot of fans who like that. And what I'm saying is, those who were there for that should be worried a little bit, because it looks like the indie dev money is drying up in favor of the bigger hits, right? Which would also be good as well. It's just some of us were very, very happy with the fact that, hey, these little guys, the Replaced of the worlds and all that, they get shine here, and they also join our radar because they get shine here. And it looks like perception. It looks like that might be weaning a little bit in favor of the other guys.
Well, I mean, it's also like hard to predict, because there's also this talk of maybe the big games will go away from day and date. And so if is that true, or is this the case?
Maybe both. Maybe you get AAA games that are 6 months in.
But then what's left?
This is the question, right? There may be those, because look, we've had these conversations, and shout out to the Discord. Join us on Discord. We've had these conversations on Discord pretty frequently. Why are you there for Game Pass? Chances are you're not there for Game Pass for the same reason why I am, right? Yeah. And what we're saying is, as they're making these moves and shakes, what's happening is some of those contingencies might get fractured, because what you like is no longer available there, and so you might go elsewhere. You know,
there's another thing. There was a lot in this podcast, so I definitely recommend people watch it, and shout out to Aaron for recommending it. But there's a quote from one of the studios there at Xbox where they changed the scope of the game, and then he asked them, well, aren't you worried about ROI? And their answer was, I haven't been worried about ROI since I was acquired.
So that was not Xbox.
Okay, it wasn't Xbox.
It wasn't Xbox. It was someone else, but it was at a different company that had been acquired, and Paradox had acquired them.
Okay.
Paradox acquired them.
I thought he was trying to be vague about who said it. And so he said
it was Paradox. He said it was in Paradox, like where he was in Paradox. Because Paradox is also acquiring people. But the sentiment is still apt. Right? Like what he said is where he heard it was in Paradox. But hey, you could replace that with Xbox, right? But I think it'd be fair.
Okay, it's a quote from the Paradox board meeting.
It's from the Paradox board.
But you could imagine Tim Schafer saying the same thing, though. But yes, but the point is, another thing that he pointed out in there is that if Game Pass does change, what they were worrying about before is they basically said, "Here's money, go win awards." Right?
Yeah. When that happened, when he said that, I was like, "Oh man." This is where I got to give and of course, as soon as I said that, he shows up. I got to give the petulant one his due, because he was like, "Look, no,
wait a minute." Aaron is backing me up here. He says, "LOL, nah, it was from one of the Xbox acquired companies, and it was around profit, not ROI."
Not ROI. Okay. Very fantastic. Good stuff. All right. Well, we stand corrected. But the flowers I was going to give Lucius. Remember when we were having this back and forth debate about what the barometer of success was? And he was like, even if the barometer isn't financial, right? They should have galvanized people or brought people to the platform, and even in that instance, it failed. As soon as they said this podcast said that you're there to win awards, go win awards. I'm like, they failed at that barometer as well.
That's what me and Lucius was saying.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Did you grow Game Pass? And now
this is me bringing it back around. This is me bringing it back around. Right?
It sucks. It absolutely sucks.
Yeah,
but when we see these decisions being made now, like, you have people in the room who don't have those personal relationships that Phil had, and so now you're going to be judged on what you did.
Yeah. It is
And
tight out
you
there,
think
man.
the
It's just not great.
barometer was just to make for them to just make games that are almost memorable?
I mean, come
I'm
on.
not saying that. I
They
understand.
used that's salty. Don't do that. They used what do you call it? Your favorite developer who love who banned you for some reason.
Oh,
uh,
yeah. Josh Sawyer.
Yeah, they use Josh Sawyer's game Pentiment as a talking point, where and that is very apt that they brought that up as well, because I always thought that was a very interesting quote. This was way back when Pentiment was first being debuted. He was talking about how he loved Game Pass because without Game Pass that game wouldn't exist, right? Which, yay, Game Pass. But it does when the roles turn, and now it's about how profitable it is and how sustainable it is. That doesn't speak well to about Game Pass, right? You know what I mean? Like, now that speaks to more the idea that, oh man, Game Pass is facilitating things that aren't profitable when it should be, using that. It's worrying. It is worrying. It's unfortunate where we find ourselves. What are you gonna do?
All right.
Nope.
So Aaron says, I believe
Yeah.
the quote was, "I haven't worried about profitability since being acquired." Ish. This is from someone who was not named, so we aren't mixing it wrong. Just
saying anything
saying.
wrong. That's right. Absolutely.
So-
Let me catch up on a couple more super chats. There's a few more have come in, and then we'll continue. The great legendary Yobi with a 10. Thank you so much. He says, peace, love, life, and facts. Facebook Marketplace has been a gold mine in the past. Cop the Legion Go, pop the LG C1, a soundboard, a motherboard, a Samsung Odyssey G5, all under $900 throughout the years. That is wild, sir. Good for you. That's fantastic. Only the Odyssey G5 alone would set you back. All of that's amazing.
I do. So really quick. Well, go do that one, and then I'll answer slow-mo.
I got one more. I got two more. Mr. Two Opinionated with $2. He says, instead of buying Bungie, buy the Helldivers devs. Oh, please don't. No, please don't do that.
No. I mean, I think that's a hindsight thing where you wouldn't have had to spend $3.6 billion and then.
True. But they're also a very independent, spirited group, and they're doing some interesting things. I feel like history has shown that when these corporations, pick your poison, whichever corporation, when these corporations buy these studios, eventually it becomes a shell of their former self. Mortivore, the great Mortivore, with a $5 do, says GCP the best podcast. Thank you, sir. We appreciate you. Great member of our community. He likes to do drive-by gifting. That's what he likes to do. Shout out to you, Mortivore. But yes, let's get back to it. You said that you had a question for Slow-Mo.
So Pentiment won 4 awards, but facts don't matter when we have narratives. Let me ask you a question, Slow-Mo. Is Obsidian being closed?
On that note, let's move on. You know what you're doing. You're going to bait the man. We have 10 minutes to go on the show. He's going to show up and it's going to turn into a 4-hour podcast. Stop it. I see what you're doing, sir. I ain't allowing it. We're moving on. Anyway, so let's see. Let's double back on the whole layoffs thing, because we were talking about that for some time, and there's a bit more information about the layoff stuff coming down the pipe now. I don't know if you saw this, but the Compulsion devs, rather, a bunch of those developers have been putting LinkedIn posts out on Front Street talking about they're open to work, and all of this coming as quickly as it is kind of is presenting maybe different information to be taken as gospel, but it doesn't seem like they're necessarily laid off yet. They're just open to work, to the point where a lot of them are like on LinkedIn, funny enough, using the same company's work application to try and find new opportunities, even though they technically have not been let go of Compulsion yet. It's a very weird scenario going on right now, but yeah, it looks like
I think
the smoke is turning into little bits of fire.
They all know they all know it's coming, and I think they're giving them the opportunity to do this as part of their workout negotiation.
See, Slow-Mo's taking it there.
Won 10 awards. Here's the problem. That was in 2021. We're 5 years later. Does that, because you won an award 5 years ago, does you good in perpetuity?
Oh well, see now you're moving the goalposts.
What if you won an award in
awards.
2005? Should you still be good?
Hellblade 2 won 5 awards.
I mean, I don't agree with the Hellblade thing. So
see,
no, but I mean that was the one that I didn't agree with.
You keep doing this. You keep moving it. He keeps finding new ones for you. He keeps finding ways around it.
Goalposts are now in the parking lot. I said from the beginning that Hellblade is stupid. That was the one I didn't agree with. You can't really use the qualifier that I also agree with.
The qualifier is you need to have had an award in the last 2 years, 3 years. Otherwise, it doesn't count. Okay.
I'm just saying, Slow-Mo thinks if you win one award, you good forever, and you got to stay open no matter if your last 2 games went double wood. But anyway,
double wood. All right. Well, real quick, have you heard that Quantic Dreams is out there striking because they want to save this game?
I don't want to take a victory lap because this is taking a victory lap on somebody's.
That's not nice. Downfall. What's going on? Why are you taking a victory lap?
No. Because when they showed this trailer, everybody was excited for it. And I was like, it's CGI. We don't know anything about this. We don't know if it's coming out. They said they was just starting it when they had the CGI trailer. I said, show me when you have something tangible, and it turns. This is why you don't get excited.
I like Hellblade 2. Hey, we got excited for the Hellblade 2 trailer. It was beautiful, and it actually came out. Move it on. Hellblade 2 did it.
Well, I got excited for Senua, and I'm just saying.
Damn, that's just cold. That's cold. Anyway, so it looks like Star Wars Eclipse is far less likely than it was yesterday, and it looks like the studio at Quantic Dreams it has led to lots of rioting and striking to try and get that back on the docket. I, like you, did not see this coming down the finish line. It just looked too far away. Even the other game, was it EA or somebody else that did it? The Wonder Woman game. There was another one, a Wonder Woman game that was also shown off some time ago. Had no logos on it. Same thing. My brain was like, talk to me when this thing gets closer to actually being a game. Right now, it just looks like a marketing pitch to get it made or get people to potentially want to work on it.
Let me ask you a question.
It is what it is. Mm-hmm.
Do you think what we saw with Senua was representative of actually being able to come out in 2027, or did they show that because they knew the writing was on the wall?
Honestly, knowing what we know in hindsight, seeing what we saw, I would be very surprised if that was a start from scratch. I would be very surprised because to me, what I saw was Ghosts of Yotai a la Ghost of Tsushima, a continuation of what you built. The foundation is there. It looks like the foundation is there, but now she's far more capable as far as like the world is somewhat unchanged. Graphic fidelity is still great because it was always great, but now we put the combat systems to work. So between the day that game came out and been put to other platforms till now, I can believe that they worked on the combat system and got it to a better place. There's no way that it would take years to revise the combat system. Everything else was really, really like worked onto a fine point. Obviously, you'll change worlds around, maybe you'll modify some of the environments, but none of that would take like the same length of development time as the original product would. So yeah, I could definitely see that 2027 that would come out. Just like if you see Ghost of Tsushima to Ghost of Yotai, what was the spin around time? It was relatively short in comparison, and the budget was short too because a lot of it was atomized from the original work, right? So this was a good look, them doing this, giving people what they want, and while still, being relatively smaller in price point because you've already built in your world when you built it the last time. It is what it is, right? I would definitely believe that was an actual product that was going to release. Specifically considering what they showed us wasn't like revolutionary. It's just what we wanted as far as combat.
Yeah.
That's what it was. That's all it was, right? Yes, it was beautiful, but it was beautiful in the first place, right? There's no change there. It's not more beautiful or less beautiful. It is exactly what you saw in Hellblade. She's just far more capable now. 2-3 years, you can make very good, crunchy, custom, awesome, fun combat. Like you can do that while that world still exists and do some light modifications, maybe have the writers go a little further as far as storytelling and whatnot. That can be turned around in a relative short order, while every other game is costing 6 years to make. I don't think this is a 6-year project. So yeah, I would have liked to see it. Now, it was a viable option, right? It was viable. I think it was viable. It's just sad that we are where we are with it.
I just don't know why they showed it, man. If it's not like, it's like I'm trying to wrap my brain around why show it, knowing you're gonna shut it down. So like, it's like that's when the conspiracy theories start.
To me, that's the worst decision, and that's where for me, while there's a lot of business happening and people will give people smoke or not give people smoke, who cares? That decision alone upset me, because you kind of did them dirty. You did them dirty, you did us dirty, because we saw what we want, but we'll never get it. And you showed the developer finally making good as far as what they want, the consumer finally wanted. They are doing it, but they'll never get to release it. That decision, just that one alone. But yeah, it is what it is.
I guess they should have done it sooner. And that's to the Winter Shoulders part comment. Yeah, but I don't know, man. Ninja Theory just noticed that people wanted the game to have with more combat and gamey 2 games in.
But remember, they're not making games necessarily for the consumers. Like, hey, we're making.
They're not making games for consumers.
No. Understand? No.
I think let
me make my point. Let me make my point before you take it. No, stop it. Let me make my point before you go off. Okay. What they're not doing is, if they were making games solely for your enjoyment like that, they would have made another DMC or something like that, right? They're trying to tell a story. They're trying to say something while giving consumers what they want, right? They were trying to thread a needle of, hey, getting it to be more 4-quadrant, letting people like it, while at the same time trying to tell something that they wanted to tell, right? They're not necessarily going, oh, well, consumer says X, so let's throw away everything we have and start fresh because that's what the consumer says. They were trying to thread the needle. Which I think they should be allowed to try.
All right. Barring, and this is a question for the chat too, barring building a time machine and going back in time and firing Matt Booty, right? If you are walking in as Asha Sharma today, what do you do to Xbox?
Oh, I mean, for me, it's easy. You let it coast as it is until the next gen, where you start making changes.
So you lose money until next gen.
You've been losing money all this time anyway. Like nothing has changed. All of a sudden, hot fire, we're gonna close. No. So it's the thought process that has changed.
You do the same.
But you are in a yacht. You're not in a dinghy. You don't turn real quick. You see what's there. You see what's working. You see what's not, and then you start slowly making moves so that when the generation starts changing, where that's when people are more open to different decisions, then you pull the trigger. You don't pull the trigger on a Wednesday because we're here, right?
Well,
wait until they land their plane before you go to the next gen.
Right, but I'm asking, what are you doing different?
Well, what am I doing different?
What are you doing different that they were doing? Because I know we didn't want them to make any decisions and keep everything as it was, right? Because they were going in the right direction. So what do you change course on, or do you just stay the course, don't change anything that they were doing?
No, you know what? I actually liked what they were doing, and I would have done the same thing as far as making the exclusivity more fluid. So yes, some will go, some will stay, but we'll like the cultivating the core fan base to keep them more excited. I would have pulled back Halo. I would have done that. I would have pulled back Halo. I think the Gears pullback was a good look, but make it clear that doesn't mean that every game is going to be done that way. We're going to be case by case and really mean it, right? I think for the most part, the moves they were making up until now were well executed, right? They're talking the talk, walking the walk, making people feel good about the purchase they've made, right? If it wasn't them, if like the first 100 days was a good look, the second 100 days should have waited until the end of the gen and switched it then. That's what I think.
The first 100 days was the setup for the okie doke of the second.
Yes,
days.
yes. And,
Right?
and if you listen to the Business of Gaming podcast, they were like, "Oh, the honeymoon phase is over." She's what is it? The night of the night of the knives or whatever he calls it.
The reality is, if you wanted things to continue in the direction that they were going, then either Phil Spencer would still be there or Sarah Bond would have succeeded him. Right?
No, that's
so
not necessarily the case.
If
there
change,
are people who come. There are people who come and then keep the plane in the air for a while slowly diverting it. That's you don't have to show up and then turn around and go back where you, no, that's not how it normally happens.
No. Well, what normally happens is the successor who's been lined up takes that position. If you go with something different, it's because you don't like the direction of the existing leadership, right? So to me, if they liked the direction they were going, then I think they would have let Sarah Bond succeed Phil, who he had been grooming. I hate that word, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, that always continue.
So they
get it.
Yeah, and again, people like I'm saying these things, and people think that I'm on board with this thing. I think some of these decisions are stupid, but at the same time, if they're looking at a change of direction, then my mind goes to if some cuts have to happen, right? Because if I let the chat tell it, they should subsidize the console by another $500. They should keep everybody fully employed, making whatever they want because they
got money like that though.
They shouldn't.
But they got money.
No. But this is what I'm saying. Like this is all. And again, we're talking to gamers, so that their perspective is what they want as a gamer, and that's fine, right? The corporate problems are not your problems. You're just there to play the games. But when I look at this, I say, well, they're going to have to try to save money somewhere. And, you know, I don't think, to me, so as I said last week,
I will let you have the last word because we need to move on before we get too late.
To me, they should have given all of these studios one more project. And you say, listen, your life is on the line with this one, as opposed to saying everything's fine, and then okay, it's not fine. So if you're saying okay, it's not fine anymore, then tell Tim Schafer you're making Psychonauts 3, or here's the door now. Tell Ninja Theory if Senua doesn't hit, I'm sorry, we can't fund this anymore. The same thing goes for Compulsion. Whatever your next game is.
Basically, what you're saying is, new barometer, give them the opportunity to meet that new barometer rather than judging them with the new barometer.
You told them everything was okay and they was happy with everything, and now you saying, "Oh,
I am with you on that." Yes.
So if I'm not
the
saying
rules
you can
have
continue
changed
this forever, do or die.
If the rules have changed, let them now know the rules have changed now. So go forth with the new rules. You didn't allow them to go forth with the new rules. Exactly. I agree with you on that. 100%. I think we can all agree on that one. 100%.
We can leave
Mr.
it at
Too
that.
Opinionated.
Yes.
Mr. Too Opinionated with $2. He says, y'all dog state and OD decay, but it got more gamers. Y'all dog state OD decay, but it got more gamers.
No. He said no. He's talking about State of Decay.
Yes.
So State of Decay, but it got more players than all of these games that we are.
The other games,
10 million players. State of Decay.
They don't market State of Decay properly at all. I don't think they do, because most people don't know the big dog that it is. Like, I don't think they put it out there as well as they should. Because yes, I know Pixel's in here, Nerds is all about it. Just wild. People love that game, but I don't think it's as well known of the huge install base that's there. You know, who is we?
Who is we? Because Pixel don't speak French.
That's right. We. Before we get out of here, one last story, and it's the big story. right? People know this. It's not big on this stage because of reasons. We'll get into that right now. But this is the big story. And what am I talking about? I am talking about Grand Theft Auto 6. It is the big story. We finally have found out what all the details of GTA are. Right? We've seen some pricing. We've seen the date released, this, that, and the third. Mr. Everborn Saga, I know you don't care
at all.
And I'm starting to not care either, but we'll get to there. Question becomes, how do you feel about and chat, please keep me honest here, because there's a lot of dissenting reports. It's a little wild. Oh yes, and Infinite Umbra points out that I need to, since I'm talking about this is a perfect time to remind everybody that he's a traitor to the cause. Instead of standing on business, he's now trying to facilitate getting around his own word by asking other people to donate for it instead of standing on business. So yeah. I will remind people. I'll remind people that you are a traitor to the cause, sir. That's what you are. Anyway, he's doing a fundraiser. Go throw some dollary dues. It's fine. Anyway, it seems that first off, it's $80, which I said, oh, hell no. I'm not doing that. No, I'm not doing it because my reasons. I'm not doing that. But now it looks like it's not just $80. It is $100 because the $80 one gets you less than standard, meaning there are places in the game, tattoo shops and what do you call it? Car garages that you can go customize things. The parts of the game that used to be standard. And now those are behind the paywall. The last time I remember that happening for me was Assassin's Creed Odyssey to Valhalla. Odyssey had transmog, where you find whatever awesome equipment or armor or whatever you have, and then you can transmog it into another thing, so that you can keep your style the way it was. You like what you have, you get to keep it while the stats keep going up, right? Since people used it so much in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, in Valhalla they put it behind a paywall, made you pay for it, and it brought a lot of smoke. This is doing the same thing here, where tattoo shops, all these things that were standard part of GTA, not DLC. Yes, DLC is its own thing. This was standard fare. Now it looks like those things are being locked behind the $100 premium edition. And oh, by the way, see that disc? That disc doesn't exist because they will not be releasing it on disc, just codes when the game comes out. And secondly, they thought that, oh, they're not releasing it on day one, but eventually it would come. Now, as recently as this morning, shout out to Insider Gaming, there are no plans to ever print GTA 6 discs, it's being said. Now, why does that matter? I think that matters because they're going to try and enforce this game and make it an online-only game. So all the weird moves that they're making, you can't circumvent. Remember Everborn when what do you call it? Oh my God, Dragon's Dogma 2 was doing that weird thing where if you wanted to roll another character, you had to pay extra or whatever, and we could just go, oh, screw you, we mod. You can't do that here because this is an online only game. Interesting. What do you think of all of this? I know that you're not really about this game, which is fine, and I won't be about it either because I'm not buying it for this price. I'm not. At 80, I wasn't buying it. At 100, I'm definitely not buying it. Definitely not. I'm not saying you shouldn't.
As I said,
fair people in the chat. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but I will be playing it when it's sub 60, when it's sub $80 on PC. That's when I'll be playing.
I will give it a shot
years from now. Probably.
I will give it a shot when it comes to PC.
Yeah.
And by the way, Umbra asked me to donate to his fund, and I told him I'll do better than donate to his fund. I will get him a copy of it when it comes to PC.
Yes, right. That's right. There you go. So yes,
I should have put the stipulation that he has to wait for it to come to PC too.
PC too, yeah.
But I didn't. I'm just thinking about that right now. It's too late. I'm gonna stick to my original.
Damn it! Hey! You don't have to stick to your original. He said he wouldn't be buying it. He was standing on business, and he's swerving and denying. You can find workarounds too. Go ahead. That's where we live now, don't we? Traitors.
All right. I need to see We need to see proof that he's not putting his own money into this, and then all the
you know
money
what he said he was
used
going to
for it
do?
specifically
He was
came
going
from
to
the
send
fund.
all the money to someone else and then have that someone else buy him the game, so he didn't technically use his own money. I'm like, bro, you know, when somebody donates money to you, it then becomes your money. So now you're technically using your money to buy. Oh, well, then I'm going to give all the money to somebody else and then they're going to buy me the game. Why are you trying to stand on business if you're not planning on standing on business? What is that about? We're such haters.
I think you will be getting this game before it comes to PC too, sir.
Who me?
You. I'm talking to you.
Let me give you the qualifier. I'll tell you that. This is the qualifier. Unless Rockstar Games, who I am slandering right now, feels it in their heart to give me a copy of the game, I'm not buying.
What about a community member buying it for you?
I would ask that no community member do so because I'm standing on business.
I'm looking at Morty.
I'm standing on business. No, that's not cool.
So if anyone gives you a copy, you will do what Everborn did, because I stood on business when you gave me GTA 5.
Yes,
somebody
that's
gives
true.
you a copy,
Yes.
you will not accept.
I don't want anyone to spend so much money specifically on a game.
I just want you on record saying if someone does do that, you will not accept it.
Oh yeah, I will not accept it. I will not, because it is ridiculously priced. Ridiculously priced. Anyway, so
y'all heard it here.
That's that. Yeah, absolutely. Y'all heard it here. The only place you'll see me playing that game is if I'm given a code by a vendor, and that's not happening. It is what it is.
Okay.
But anyway, so at the end of the day, it looks like they know GTA is the big dog. You know, it's a really, really big dog and it's scary out here. And they're using that against people. And a lot of people are going, well, this ain't great, but I'm going to do it anyway. We're going to do it anyway. This is what people are doing right now. Are you going to do it anyway? Probably not, right? But you would have done this if it was Zelda, right?
But I'm not waiting for a Zelda game to come to PC. Right.
True. So you would have just bought it straight up there.
Yeah.
No. So yeah, it is what it is. I would say in this specific back and forth bet thing, what do you call it? Rockstar has made it very easy for me to say no, because the $80 version is not even the one you want. You want the $100 version. You can go pound something if you think I'm paying $100 for that. That's ridiculous. Or letting someone else pay $100 for me. That's ridiculous. Absolutely insane. But for those of you who got the monies, do you win? Do you? Anyway, so that's what's going on. It looks like when it comes out, everybody's gonna have to buy the $100 version if you want the full aspect of the game. You know, it is what it is. It does look interesting, but I don't see any reason why it you know, we'll see. The trailers are the proper trailer for it still has not come out yet. You know, it definitely is an event when it comes out. So definitely I don't expect it to not be an event when it comes out. So we shall see, you know. Okay. More super chats. Let's go. Let's see. Oh, Lucius says with $5, K Asante is so bad at fundraising. He's pointing out to other people's podcasting fundraisers. I have pointed out many times about fundraising, bruh. Calm down. You just showed up a little late. I've been fundraising.
I mean, you literally did tell no one to buy you the game.
No. I said no one buy me this game. What I am saying is I would appreciate, and I do appreciate all them super chats and all the ways you support. Why? Because we're trying to go to PAX West, people. Screw GTA. I want to go to PAX West. I want to be boots on ground with Lucius and a few other. Yeah, we'll figure all that out. But with all the great people that we have been working with, that to me is a fundraiser worthy cause. We need more people to understand that, you know, we're on the cusp, right there on the cusp, and we just need a little bit of support to get us over that hump. So if you have the opportunity to, and you can support us, we would please ask that you do so, whether it be through super chats, whether it be through whatever you feel would be necessary to do so. But at the end of the day, even supporting us by reading the Gaming Circle blog, supporting us by retweeting when it shows up, supporting us by going to Reddit and, you know, enjoying some of the conversations there and letting folks know that we are here and doing good work. See, Paris is telling us to go to Gamescom. We need some assistance, ladies and gentlemen. You want us to be at Gamescom? We need some help. This is my fundraiser.
You pulling a Phil Spencer right now, right?
Okay.
Lucius just talked to you about fundraising, and then you go on a half-hour long thing to say
about fundraising.
No. You said you can support us by retweeting. You can give money. That's what we're talking about. We need people to give money so we can go to the thing. Don't say the website. Don't say the retweets. Don't say the like and subscribe. Do all those things, but give money.
Not everybody can give money, and I have to be cognizant of that. Okay, not everybody does.
You're doing it again. You're doing it again. Money, money. That's what we need to go to the place.
Give me money. Anyway. All right, so shout out to all the folks who support us. Let's catch up with a couple super chats.
Super important.
There are some super chats. Real quick, I'll let you have the last word. The Great Pixel, $2 super chat. He says Xbox failing to advertise. Say no. Yes, that's what they're doing. Also, Lucius with a $2 super chat says reminding reminding people to pay Umbra, but not us. What the hell, bro? Like I said, we totally did that. We've been doing that. Go to the beginning of this episode. It's the first thing I said. Anyway, the legendary Yobi with a 5. He says, oh, and by the way, put the finger in the air and acknowledge your tribal chief, Infinite Umbra. Acknowledge him. Thank you, brother. Mr. Too Opinionated with a 5. He says, me as Asha, I'm telling Booty we need bangers, no fart smelling, or we're closing. No more kiln going forward. No fart smelling. Most games will be third party. It is what it is. And that's the super chat. Go ahead. What are you saying?
No, it's just something that we have to. I did not know this. Mm-hmm. Umbra doesn't even own an Xbox.
No, he does not. He owns he owns a PlayStation. He does not own an Xbox.
Oh, he
owns a PlayStation.
Oh, hold on. He just so y'all know, when y'all giving him this fundraiser.
No. He's not buying it on PlayStation. He owns a PlayStation, dusting in the corner, as he says. He gave away his Xbox. He will go and borrow an Xbox to play the game on Xbox.
He's gonna borrow an Xbox to play this game. This is okay. This is sounding like one of those university things, man. I don't know what's going on here, bro.
Oh, and as we do, we will not deny. We appreciate the support. First and 15th, too, with $2. He says Microsoft wants big IPs. Love these studios, but sorry, it is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, I think that's it, man. Once again, read the Gaming Circle blog. A lot of great writers, rather, putting their time in there. We appreciate all the work that we're doing here, right? Slanderous and otherwise, we're trying our best and doing pretty good, I think. So if you do happen to see some of our content, please like and subscribe and all that stuff. Let people know it's out there. We're still continuing to move and shake as far as doing the previews and stuff. We're going to start translating some of that into interviews that you'll see both on this channel and in written form on the website. We're just doing a lot to try and really solidify this momentum and continue moving forward. So once again, shout out to all the folks who've super chatted. Thank you so much to all of our members. If you're not a member, maybe consider being a member. Honestly, like members, we appreciate you just because you support us in the way you choose to support us, right? We always are in the Discord, hanging out, talking. You don't got to be a member. You ain't got to leave any of those things. But if you so choose to do so, we appreciate you. I've jump started that a little bit through a couple memberships in the chat. If you so choose to want to be able to continue that, we appreciate you. Otherwise, do what you can, because life is hard out here, man. I'm not gonna be like Everborn Saga. Yes, give us money, but don't take money from your own table to do so. If you have extra, we would appreciate it. Thank you very much. Everborn Saga, sir, where can people keep up with your ongoings this and every week?
Only in the Discord. I mostly only retweet things these days on X because I try not to, what do you call it? But very accessible. on the Discord, and that's where we have all our best conversations. And also give money so that we can go to these shows. Kay don't want to say it. I'll say it. I don't have no shame.
Please,
money.
Help us.
Help me help you.
Of all those trips we are planning on going on, we want to go to PAX West. Every time I don't even see him. Every time he's in any chat, Paris is like, go to Gamescom. That is not cheap, ladies and gentlemen. Please, we appreciate it. Thank y'all so much.
But Paris is also saying that because Paris is in the West Coast. He could just drive to those things. With us, we got to do a whole flight and all this other stuff. Paris could go to a show and then drive back home that night.
And then go back home real quick. Yeah. You know. We ain't gonna hold that against him.
I am. I'm holding it against Paris. Damn it.
Anyway, so yeah, man. Continue to check out the shows. Thank you so much for your continued support. About this, we're gonna be putting some work into this soon. Yes, I know it sounds complicated. Yes, I know it sounds complicated and all that. Trust us. You may want to investigate this because as times are getting tough, as times are getting tough, as finances are hard, this may be your only way to get in on the cheap. And this is a PS5, ladies and gentlemen. And it's like we've seen it for as cheap as 130. As much as about 180. It's all over eBay. It is the AMD BC250. The reason why I'm saying this is by the time that video drops, that price may be 250 at that point because it's climbing little by little by little by little. But anyway, that's it. Thank you all so much for watching. Thanks to all the great people that continue to support the channel. I see you in there, Aaron. Thanks you for the recommendation as to the Business of Video Game podcast. This episode, it was really, really cool. People, if you haven't been checking out the Business of Video Game podcast, you should definitely be doing so. Thank y'all so much. Ain't no shame in the game. If you find ways of finding your own copies of GTA, that's all you could use the Xbox reward points, all these other things. I won't be doing that, but we speak here for the community. We take it very seriously. So try to find your ways of defraying those costs because it's getting hard out here. But other than that, I think we done. Ever bought anything else?
Hey, if the BC250 thing works out for you, all that money you save, instead of buying a Steam machine, you could just donate to the fund. I'm just saying, give money.
I'm saying
all right, that's all I got.
We are helping you save all this Steam machine money. So when you save that $600 that you would have paid, maybe you break that in half and help a brother out. Anyway, that's it. We here, we gone, and join us in the Discord, discord.gg/TGCP. Till next week.
Nice to be in orbit.